Episode 5, Bunny Tasty Meals Prepare. I skipped a day, okay? I have been playing this game like back to back to back. Like once a day I would play an episode. I took a break yesterday because I was like, no, after what happened at the end of episode 4, I can't. I cannot. I'm still not ready. I am still not ready. I don't want to spoil anything in case there's anyone that hasn't seen episode 4 yet, but all I'm going to say is the end of episode 4 broke my heart so much and I don't want to continue. I don't want to continue. I just hope Alya's okay. I really hope Alya's okay and I hope that it's an illusion. I really hope it's an illusion. I'm not ready for this. I threw off the blanket, gasping for air. It took all my focus to recognize the paintings on the walls and the window's wood-framed screen that was broadcasting the same old forest. Our room looks the same. I mean, we still have that cat poster, the dude singing. Cold drops trickled down my chest. I trembled, thinking that it was saliva dripping from a maw left to jar over my head. But it was just sweat. It was all just a dream. Was it just a dream? Where's Alya? We need to get up right now. I reflexively wiped myself with the blanket. How did I get home? When did I fall asleep? My thoughts stumbled, crashed into each other, limping on the crutches of my weak consciousness. The drawings I hung on now looked flat and meaningless. Daub. Darkness crawled around my bedroom on its black belly. Decrepit walls around me grunted and creaked. The wind rammed the front of the house, intent on breaking in and tearing its inhabitants apart with its crooked claws. Open. It's snowing. I don't see Alya. I don't see the ice castle. I don't see Alisa. I sneaked a tentative glance out the window. The sun was hidden behind a thick white veil. The blizzard whipped up its white flags into the sky, but it was not a sign of surrender. The field and the forest got lost in the haze. A fish-eyed lamppost at the side of a disappearing road was the last glimmer of light around. The day became the night, an endless polar abomination that whispered and roared and circled around the house.
Мясо.
Meat echoed inside my skull. I slapped myself on the cheek. Okay. At first, I was excited because I thought that it was Alya rushing to us, but it wasn't. Oh my God, I'm afraid to open this door. Then rush into the hallway to make sure Alya was okay. That my nightmare, my personal nightmare, hadn't hurt her. Please, oh please. Open. Is there anything else we can click? No, okay, open. Please. Why are they here? Why are they here? And why do they look concerned? My sister was in bed, our parents tending to her. Alya's face had a grayish tint to it, and her lips were colored a scary shade of blue. I looked at her legs, wrapped in a blanket, expecting the cloths to turn scarlet. A brief moment of respite followed. Alya's legs were fine. Oh my gosh.
Что случилось?
What happened?
Температура подскочила.
She suddenly had a huge fever.
Говорила я тебе окна не открывать.
I told you not to open the window. I knew they were going to blame us. No matter what happened, they were going to blame Anton.
Да без толку сейчас ругаться. Спасать ее надо.
Whatever. There's no point in arguing now. We need to save her. Alya went into a coughing fit. She had a hard time lifting her eyelids. Her eyelashes were stuck together. Her chest vibrated from hectic breathing. What the?
It's your turn to beat us.
I shook my head, trying to chase away the intrusive whispers, the images of dead, worm-infested monsters dancing in the garage.
А вдруг инфекция?
What if it's an infection? Dad was gnawing at his nails, anxious.
Принеси сироп.
Go get the syrup.
Уже принес тут на донышке.
Already did. Here you go. There's just a little bit left. He handed over a small bottle. I noticed how Mom held her hand over my dad's for a second, then gave it a light squeeze and let go. The blizzard outside was growing stronger, but the storm that always raged between my parents had subsided for now. It felt like Alya's sickness made them stop and reflect upon their behavior.
Грелка вот.
Here's the hot water bottle.
Не буду. Не возьму. Вы плохие.
No, I won't take it. You're bad. She was delirious. Her pupils rolled back, her speech impaired.
Я знаю, вы под масками страшные.
I know. You're scary under the masks. Her words were akin to a jolt of lightning.
Тише, доченька, перестань.
So she's still there. Like her body is here, but her her spirit is with them is what it sounds like. Come on now, Olya, be a good girl.
Господи, что же делать?
God, what do we do? Dad put his palm on Mom's shoulder.
Прости нас, солнышко.
We're so sorry, sweetie. Oh, the mom is crying. A tear rolled down Mom's cheek. She sniffled and turned her gaze toward my slouched figure in the doorway.
Нас прости, сынок. Мы как с цепи сорвались.
We're so sorry, Anton. We've not been ourselves lately.
Совсем забыли про вас.
We neglected you guys.
А вы же самое дорогое, что у нас есть.
And you're our most precious treasure.
Мы запутались, Антон.
We've been so lost, Anton.
Не стоило бросать вас без присмотра.
We shouldn't have abandoned you like that. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't even remember the last time my parents spoke to me in this manner, as well as the last time they held hands. Fear had brought them together, but at what price? I thought about the hungry beast from the forest, about the flute and its unceasing call, about the dead creatures jumping over the pines, and about Romka crawling on all fours too.
Вы врачу позвонили?
Did you call the doctor?
Позвонили.
We did.
У него машина в такой мороз не заводится.
His car wouldn't start in this cold,
Я сейчас за ним съезжу.
so I'll need to go pick him up. Mom shook the empty syrup bottle.
А я пока в поселок за лекарствами пойду.
And I'll go pick up some medicine in the village.
Аптека возле школы.
There's a pharmacy near the school.
Собирайся, Карина, я тебя довезу.
Okay, get ready, Karina. I'll drive you there.
Сейчас главное действовать слаженно, сообща.
We need to act together now, as a team. Okay, so if Anton brings meat to the monsters, maybe Alya's okay and they'll bring her back. Maybe we can choose who the meat is, you know? Maybe we can give him, Katya's already gone. Katya's gone, Simon's gone, but maybe we can bring him Romka on a silver platter. I don't think Romka has disappeared yet. I imagine my parents driving through the forest as the thicket lights up with small crimson eyes that look like generator bulbs.
Не ходите!
Don't go! A scream escaped my throat. Alya shuddered under the blanket and whispered,
Тошенька, спаси меня.
Save me, Tosha! Dad frowned in response.
Антон, мы туда и обратно.
Anton, we'll be right back.
Послушай, нам сейчас очень нужна твоя помощь.
Look, we really need your help right now.
А помощь заключается в том, чтобы...
What we need you to do is...
Черви под маской.
Worms under the mask?
Что за мультфильмы она смотрела?
What kind of cartoons did she watch?
В том, чтобы присмотреть за сестрой, пока нас не будет.
Is to look after your sister while we're away.
Но, пап,
But Dad,
Следи, чтоб ей было тепло.
make sure she stays warm.
а вдруг она проснется, а вас нет?
And what if she wakes up while you're gone?
Вдруг ей что-то понадобится?
What if she needs something?
Тише, милый, все будет хорошо.
Calm down, sweetie. It's going to be all right. She showed me a weary smile, the smile of hers I'd never trade for any candy in the world.
Обещаешь?
Promise?
Я вернусь, чего бы мне это ни стоило.
I'll be back, whatever it takes.
А теперь, пожалуйста, Антон, ты нам очень нужен здесь.
But right now, Anton, please, we need you here.
Скорее, Карина, мы теряем время.
Hurry up, Karina, we're wasting time. After 5 or so minutes, the door downstairs clicked shut, and Dad's car engine revved up among the blizzard roars.
Под масками темнота.
Darkness under the masks! Alya described images from my dream in her feverish delirium, things she had no way of
Не
knowing.
существует.
They don't exist.
существуем. Еще как существуем.
We do. Oh, we do.
A voice rang out in my head, and at the same time streamed from all the nooks and crannies in the house.
Мы придем, как только настанет ночь.
We'll come when night falls.
Зайчик, мясо нам достань.
Bunny, bring us tasty meat.
Или мясом сочным стань.
Or become our juicy treat.
I broke free from the illusion's embrace like it was a spider web, then sprinted out of the room, almost tumbling down the stairs. I wanted to run outside and throw myself on my parents' necks and tell them how much Olya and I loved them, that we'd never fight or argue again. Anything to make them stay with us in this terrifying hour. I swung the door open, but the raging blizzard had already covered the trail of Dad's car. The universe converged into a tiny spot in front of the porch. The house got immediately darker and colder. Something rustled in the attic. Mice? A foxtail? Shadows climbed the walls. Floorboards creaked into empty rooms. Clocks counted down the minutes without mercy. The night was almost upon us. I remembered the instructions from my parents. I needed to look after Alya. To that end, I'll do whatever I can. What if Alya wakes up hungry? Okay, so we're gonna look in the fridge. Can we click on anything else? No. Some leftover condensed milk languished in the freezer. I sliced up a loaf of bread into quarters, just like Alya likes. And then a piercing howl mixed in with the wind song. Something dark was there, in the blizzard's embrace. Some living being darted around in the snow.
Нет, нет, до ночи еще далеко.
No, 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 the night is still far away.
Вы обещали дать мне шанс!
You promised to give me a chance. A pitiful yapping reached my ears. Is it Zolka? The snowstorm subsided for a moment, chasing away the swarm of snowy flies, and I recognized a familiar dog and the ball of fur that shivered in front of me. He better not feed them the dog. I swear. Maybe that was the chance I was looking. No, Anton.
Жулька!
Feed him Romka! The stray wagged its tail as if it heard my shout and rushed toward the front door. It whimpered as it clawed at the wooden planks with its tiny paws, asking me to let it in. What if I don't want to give it the dog? Oh, I can't do anything else.
Приветик.
I don't think I'm gonna like this episode. I don't want to play this episode. I feel like no matter what, I'm gonna end up crying. I'm gonna end up in tears. I don't want Alya to die, but I don't want them to kill a dog either. Well, hello there. I bent down and rubbed the dog behind its ears. It wagged its tail even faster. Run, Zolka, run. The dog. Meat. Food. What if I offer some dog meat to those monsters from the Black Forest? Will it be able to satiate their hunger? It's too little. Nope, it won't. Without even thinking of how I'll kill the poor animal, I started backtracking, whistling. The blizzard whistled in unison with me, as if supporting my devilish plan. The shivering stray dog ran into the hallway. I shut the door as fast as I could, afraid that the dog could smell the danger and try to run away. Happy barks resounded throughout the house.
Тише, дурочка. Олю разбудишь.
Pipe down, silly. You'll wake up Alya. No, I can't just gut it in the hallway. The kitchen is a better choice. He's really gonna kill it. Zolka tried to lick my face when I picked it up, but I dodged.
Ты, наверное, проголодалась, девочка.
You're probably hungry, huh? I ransacked the freezer, then tore the plastic bag with meat bits open and threw its contents to the dog. What is it, a last meal? It sniffed the frosty bones with caution, then flashed me a suspicious look.
Ешь давай.
Eat up. Newspapers with Mom's crosswords acted as a makeshift oilcloth. I spread them around the floor so as to not get the floor dirty. Seems like my dad, who was constantly busy, forgot to sharpen our knives. I felt dizzy at the thought that I need to slaughter a writhing Zolka like a pig.
Чем бы тебя таким, чтобы не мучилась?
How do I make it the least painful for you? Someone else smirked inside me.
Ты это... Постой тут.
Listen, I need you to stay here for now.
Я за топором схожу и убью тебя. Хорошо?
I'll go grab the axe and kill you, okay? With a look of resignation in its eyes, the dog started its last dinner. My legs gained 10 kilograms each as I shambled toward the attic. As I peered into the darkness, I was scared that I would come face to face with the goat's maw, feel the stench of its dirty fur and his cold fingers grasping my neck. The attic was empty. The axe lay with its blade toward me, casting a sinister shadow. Do I have to? My fingers locked around the handle.
Собака или сестра?
Remember, it's either the dog or your sister.
Собака или я сам?
It's either the dog or yourself. I felt unending hatred toward myself, toward that stupid, totally innocent dog, toward my parents who had abandoned us and driven away in their car, and toward the beast that had left me no choice. I hated the entire world. With that anger in my heart and my axe at the ready, I entered the kitchen to execute the last part of my plan. Zolka stood on his hind legs while Alya rubbed it. Wait, what? Zolka stood on its hind legs while Alya rubbed it at the scruff. My sister leaned against the table to stop herself from falling over. I dropped the tool and rushed toward the exhausted Alya.
Ты зачем встала?
Why did you get up?
Услышала, как собачка залаяла.
Oh, please tell me that means we're not gonna kill it. I heard the doggy barking.
Мне уже лучше.
I feel better already.
Не обманывай. Скорее иди в кровать.
Don't lie to me. Let's go back to bed.
Правда лучше.
But I do, honest. She let go of the tabletop's edge to prove that she wasn't going to fall unconscious on me. Her cheeks reddened. I sighed after touching my sister's cold forehead. I realized that I'd kill anybody to ensure her safety.
А откуда взялась собачка? Она теперь наша?
Where did the doggy come from? Are we adopting it? I stood in front of the axe I dropped, ashamed.
Забежала погреться. Погреется и уйдет.
I let it in because it was cold. It'll leave as soon as it warms up.
У нее щенки, ей нужно к ним возвращаться.
It has puppies to take care of. We can't keep it.
Мы и щенков можем к себе взять. Будет классно.
We can take the puppies too. It'll be so cool.
Не думаю, что маме понравится эта идея.
I don't think Mom will like that idea.
А мы ее сильно попросим.
We'll ask her super hard. The stray rubbed against Alya's legs.
Да она блохастая. Фу, Жулька.
It probably has lice. Zolka, no.
Ее Жулька зовут.
Is it a girl? Is her name Zolka?
Жулечка, ты теперь наша.
Zolka, you're ours now.
Не бойся, маленькая. Тебя у нас никто не обидит.
Don't worry, girl. No one will harm you here. Oh, does that mean she's okay? Because I was so close to just full on having a meltdown. Does that mean she's gonna be okay? Alya took a sausage out of the fridge and threw it to the dog. It chomped on the treat with enthusiasm, even though I had already fed an entire portion of beef bones to it.
Я бы на твоем месте все-таки подремал.
I'd go take a nap if I were you.
Скоро папа врача привезет, а мама лекарства.
Dad will bring the doctor soon, and Mom will get your meds.
Я больше не хочу спать. Мне кошмар снился.
I don't want to sleep anymore. I had a nightmare. She spoke slowly, her eyes
Да,
downcast.
знаю.
I know.
А вот и не знаешь.
No, you don't.
Ты хоть и был в этом сне, но откуда тебе знать?
You were in that dream, but how would you know?
А я про него рассказывать не буду.
And I won't tell you,
Потому что сон был очень плохим.
because it was a very, very bad dream. But now... Alya's face brightened up. Her lips formed a smile.
Теперь у меня есть Жулька, и все будет хорошо.
I have Zolka now. Everything will be okay. I hope everything will be okay.
Она залает, если прилетит страшная сова. А мы проснемся и спрячемся.
She will bark if that scary owl comes, and we'll wake up and hide.
И тогда нас не найдут.
And then they won't find us.
Оль, вряд ли эта шавка нас защитит.
Alya, I doubt this mangy thing can protect us. Yet my sister had already made up her mind.
Еще как защитит.
She can! She can!
Ты же защитишь. Правда? Правда, маленькая.
You'll protect us, right? Right, doggy? The stray dog barked in approval.
У меня для тебя кое-что есть. Я сейчас.
I have something for you. Wait here. Alya ran toward the stairs. I heard them creak.
Осторожнее!
Careful.
Я скоро. Присмотри за Жулькой.
I'll be back. Look after Zolka. I stared at the dog, stunned by how lively Alya was now, despite being delirious from a fever just minutes ago. Zolka finished her sausage and switched to licking the floor.
В друзья набиваешься, да?
Trying to cozy up to me, huh? I was Olya's only friend. I was her savior. I could at least try to save her. But to do that, I picked the axe up from the floor. Zolka, as if sensing something, rushed after Alya, but I stood in the dog's way in front of the staircase.
У нас мало времени. Оля скоро вернется.
We don't have much time. Alya will be back soon. I tightened my grip on the axe. It weighed a ton now. The little dog followed all of my movements with its eyes.
Не бойся.
Don't be afraid.
Я знаю, что все собаки попадают в рай.
I know that all dogs go to heaven. Its tail jumped back and
Да не
forth.
будь же ты такой милой!
Stop being so damn cute. Damn it. Spare or kill. Oh, we are not killing it. What am I doing? How will I be different from the sadists from my school if I hurt an innocent dog, and especially when it looks at me with its eyes this
Не
intelligent?
могу!
I can't. We spared Zolka. I'm not killing a dog. I don't care if this makes me get a bad ending. I'm telling you right now, I don't care. My heart cannot. I cannot. Thank you for giving me a choice in that. I dropped the axe, exhausted. Beads of sweat rolled down my body under my clothes, my breathing ragged. It felt like I just ran a 100-meter sprint.
Я не убийца.
I'm not a killer. Zolka yapped as if agreeing with me.
Я принесла игрушки для собачки.
I brought some toys for the doggy. Alya hopped down the stairs. She was clutching a bright ribbon in one of her hands and a rubber ball in another. I pushed the axe under the phone table with my foot, and with a sad smirk on my face, watched my sister sigh in adoration.
Ты теперь в безопасности.
You're safe now. But what about us? The window seemed so fragile, the shadows outside so alive. Alya tied the ribbon around the dog's neck like an improvised collar. Oh my gosh, so cute. Then she made Zolka chase the ball, baring its teeth in a bout of canine happiness, all to Alya's amusement. My sister's laughter was priceless, even at a moment like that. It felt like nothing bad had ever happened, and our parents were about to return, and her fever was about to subside. And the black garage never existed.
Почему нельзя превращаться в собак?
Why can't we just turn into dogs?
Или в других зверюшек? Гулять?
Or some other animal. We'd run around, have fun. A foreboding feeling tugged at my heart.
Потому что мы
Because
люди.
we're humans.
Скучно.
That's boring. Alya tapped the floor.
Сидеть.
Sit. Zolka yapped in
Не
confusion.
работать ей в цирке.
Not cut out to work in the circus, huh?
Я ее всем командам обучу. Вот увидишь.
I'll teach her lots of commands. You'll see. Alya yawned and lay on her side. There and then on the floor, the ball rolled away from her, attracting the stupid dog.
Как спать?
So
Хочется.
sleepy. Her eyelids closed and she started snoring. I leaned in and touched her forehead. It was hot again.
Сторожи свою хозяйку. Ты ей жизнью обязана.
Guard your owner. You owe her your life. My command was directed at Zolka. The dog kept on sniffing my pants, oblivious to how close to death it was. I ran to the second floor, brought a blanket and a pillow. Alya should sleep here under my watch. Who knows what could knock on her bedroom door? I tucked my sister in. She smacked her lips in her sleep. I rubbed her delicate forearm. Zolka rolled into a ball beside her and started snoring loudly.
Будет долгой.
I shrank after hearing an ear-rending scream in the surrounding darkness. It was the wind, or the agony of hunger. The monstrous music of the hurricane poured into my ears. It consisted of screeching, wailing, and my own quickened heartbeat. The wind rammed the windows. An open window banged against its frame somewhere above us, as if it were a rabid beast clanging its maw. Had the guests arrived already? Were they walking all over the second floor? Were they running from one corner to the other in the hallway, giggling? I should have fed Zolka to them. They're angry. Their wrath knows no bounds. I squeezed myself into the fridge, expecting the darkness of the doorframe to sink its claws into me at any moment. I waited for toothy animal faces to emerge into the kitchen, their saliva splattering to the floor. I need to calm down. I need to take my meds. I grabbed the package of one of the fridge's shelves, pushed out a pill onto my tongue, and washed it down with tap water. Then collected some more water and washed my face. I felt like the blizzard was disappointed by my choice. It wailed and attacked the outer walls of the house even harder. It felt the immense fear of the two small children inside this fragile house. I realized that the shadows were creeping closer to Alya when I wasn't watching them. Jeez. A black lump that crawled from around the corner but melted from a direct look, a fuzzy silhouette under the table. Karina, we read that at the first episode. I turned my head like crazy, fending them off. A gut-wrenching squeak rang out, as if somebody scraped their claw against the window's glass.
Нет, нет, нет!
No, no, no!
Вы не настоящие!
You're not real. But if the shadows weren't real, if there was no one inside the blizzard, does that mean I'm just insane? I looked at the package in my hand. What did I even take? The kids don't need to read the instructions for medication. They have moms for that. I pierced the tiny font with my eyes. Relieves fits of uncontrollable anger and anxiety. Helps with behavioral abnormalities, manias, destructive behavior. Can cause addiction. Possible side effects include dizziness, heightened motor activity, disruption in thermoregulation, insomnia, and high doses can cause serious injury or death. I hesitated. Alisa's swarmy voice floated up in my memory. The pills inhibit me. They lead me away from the snowy path. But maybe I don't need that snowy path after all. It's time to stop. What was the truth? How could I tell it apart from the nasty lies? Take? Oh no. I can't refuse. Is that good or bad? I took a risk. Things would take a turn for the worse if I couldn't think clearly. The shadows around me gradually stopped acting like... Okay, so maybe it's a good thing. The shadows around me gradually stopped acting like sentient beings. The squeaking sound stopped. There was nothing threatening about the weather. We were inside after all. They're back!
Вы дома?
Are you home?
На улице черти что.
The weather is atrocious.
Антон, поставь чайник.
Anton, get the kettle ready. Two pairs of shoes were stomping around in the hallway, throwing off snow. My parents appeared in the doorway. Alya shuddered weakly and opened her eyes.
Мамочка! Папочка!
Mommy! Daddy!
Ты чего на полу разлеглась? У тебя же температура.
What are you doing on the floor? You have a fever. Dad looked over at the mess that was our kitchen, and the longer he looked, the more grim was his expression. Mom scooped up Alya. Oh, he looks mad.
Господи, какой горячий лоб.
Gosh, your forehead is so hot.
Ничего, потерпи. Мы привезли лекарства. Сейчас станет лучше.
It's okay, just hold on. We brought you the medicine. You'll feel better in no time.
Мне снилось, что Антон стал монстром.
Anton became a monster in that dream. Mom scolded me with an angry stare.
На 5 минут нельзя оставить.
She said it was in a dream. She said it was in a dream, and the mom's looking at him like, how dare you be bad at a dream? Like, what? He can't control that. Can't leave you alone for even 5 minutes. I felt my face grow red.
Все хорошо, маленькая. Я отнесу тебя в постель.
It's okay, baby girl. Let me carry you to your bed.
Антон!
Our eyes met. Alya looked at me with desperation.
Антон, прошу тебя, останься со мной!
Anton, please stay with me.
Твоему брату нужно убраться.
Your brother needs to fix this mess. Fix the mess? How? By going into the darkness? No, idiot. Mom is talking about the kitchen table where you made a mess while making sandwiches with condensed milk. Before letting them carry her away, Alya turned to me and gave me a look of confusion. I wanted to grab her and hold her to my chest, but Mom carried her out into the corridor. The kitchen felt even nastier without her, and the wind's howls became even louder and more desperate.
Да уж. Не радуешь ты нас, Антон.
This is not good. Not good at all, Anton.
Я все объясню.
I can explain this. Dad interrupted me with a gesture.
Не сейчас.
Not now.
Я голоден, как волк.
I'm hungry as a wolf. Dad bent down to pick up the axe. Zolka whimpered from under the
Час
table.
от часу не легче. Где ты его откопал?
What's this now? Where did you get that thing?
Это девочка. Ее зовут...
It's a girl. Her name... Dad interrupted me with a gesture.
Так значит, это она устроила тут бардак?
Though she's responsible for the mess here.
Не совсем, но...
Not exactly, but...
Я не желаю пререкаться. Выгони ее.
I don't want to argue with you. Just chase it away.
Пап,
But Dad!
Тоша, твоя мама сейчас на взводе.
Tosha, your mom is at her wit's end right now.
Умоляю, уведи собачонку, пока мама не увидела.
Please, just get rid of this dog before she notices.
Ты ее знаешь, она ни за что не разрешит нам оставить эту моську.
You know how she is. She won't let us keep this doggy.
По крайней мере, пока Оля больна. А там
At least until Alya feels better, and then
что-нибудь придумаем.
we'll think of something. I replied with a resigned sigh. Dad showed me a sad smile and held out a couple of sausages from the fridge to me.
На, покормишь по дороге.
Here, you'll feed it outside.
пойдем, Жулька.
Let's go, Zolka. I entered the hallway along with the happy dog that was munching on a cold sausage. I honed my hearing to try and listen in on the conversation in Alya's room, but the rampaging nature silenced the voices. I threw on my jacket, whistled to the dog, and went out into the blizzard. The only consolation I had was the fact that Zolka was a stray, so she probably knows how to survive the winter. I fed her the last of my treats and started licking my hands in excitement. The wind pushed me in the back, as if escorting me to the stockade of trees. They hunched over in the storm like ugly executioners that were about to kill me for my crime. Gatherings of elms looked like cliffs, and the crevices between them, the winds and gray ghosts wandered. Those surely were the forest's previous victims. No, it's just snow. But if the glade was so scary, then what's the thicket like? Don't think about it. Do what you must and run back. I walked, swallowed by the snow piles. The closer I got to the pines, the darker my surroundings became. I looked back at the house. The lights inside trembled like candle flames that were about to be put out by the wind. And for some reason, I thought that nobody would come and reignite them.
Беги, Жулька. Здесь тебе не рады.
Run, Zolka. You're not welcome here. The dog perked its ears. The bushes rustled, crackling in the cold. The darkness hooted. Branches cracked. Somebody walked around the edge of the forest. Zoko barked a single time. I turned around in a panic, but my home was no longer there. The blizzard surrounded me with impenetrable chaos. Whistling echoes among the trunks. Snowflakes flying in my face. Crunch, crunch, crunch. A giant meat grinder crunching on bones. That's how the steps that approached me from the darkness sounded. I stepped back. Zolka barked. Dad just probably took pity on the dog and decided to take it back to our house.
Пап!
Dad? Crunch, crunch. The footsteps stopped mere meters away from me. I strained my vision. There was nobody there. It was just a brush that bent under the gust of wind. I exhaled in relief. And then somebody's arm grabbed me from behind, tore me off the ground, and threw me into darkness. Oblivion was like a well full of vicious syrup. I was slowly sliding to the bottom of it. It was a somewhat pleasant feeling. I couldn't change anything, so I just relaxed inside the goo. Like a diver that lets the current carry them. But even then, I knew that the well wasn't bottomless. I wasn't likely to wake up on my bed near my anxious parents. First, the pain came. My hands hurt like they were run over by a car. Then dim light squeezed through my fluttering eyelids. I opened my eyes and emerged into a nightmare. Fragments of reality rushed me like a pack of rabid dogs. Rows of shelves, metal walls, the bulbs hanging on a wire, the riveted flooring. I woke up inside a garage. Horror gripped me harder than the ropes that circled around my wrists. I thrashed around and moaned. A piece of duct tape stopped me from calling for help. I was hanging in the air, a good 2 feet off the dirty flooring. The ropes fixed on a hook that was drilled into the ceiling held me in a horizontal position. My feet were raised backwards. My numb fingers clutched and unclutched. The cords ate into my skin. My throat was dry. My tongue was stuck to my palate. This is the end. The beginning of the end, to be precise, because I won't be granted a quick death. The fragments of a scary reality fell into place like the pieces of a puzzle. I tried to calm down and avoid hurting my arms even more. At least the one who captured me went somewhere else. I was the only person in the metal box. Can I maybe free myself? But just after a moment, I was dangling again, like a fly inside a spider's web, in a place of spanners and winches, pliers, scalpels, and bone saws, all dirty, covered in rust. the floor smeared with red stains. Look at all the shoes. A pile of rags in the corner. When I realized what I was looking at, strength left me. Those were kids' clothing and shoes. The things that belonged to my predecessors, those who died at the hands of the serial killer inside his lair. I blinked away my heavy tears. There was something big, covered by a tarp to the right of me, and even more to the left of it sat a kid. They were hunched over near that thing, which was probably the generator that powered the light bulb. I wonder if it's Vova. I stopped crying and moaned, trying to attract his attention. The kid turned his back towards me, his head, his hood. I couldn't see if it was a boy or a girl. The kid hugged their knees and swayed back and forth as if in a trance. Their shadow slid across the metal in the silence that was only disturbed by the howling wind outside. What if that's Alya? The thought that my sister also ended up in the black garage scalded my mind. I threw my head back and twisted my arms, trying to reach the knots with my fingers. My attempts failed, to no one's surprise. I looked up at the generator again. The kid was gone, if they were even there in the first place. I turned my head around looking for the kid. I heard a stifled wheezing coming from under the tarp. Another hallucination? I stared at the source of the barely audible sound. And then the metal prison cell shook so hard that my body was thrown toward the shells as if I was on a swing. Torture tools clanged. The light bulb swayed. The bright spot it produced squirming on the horrifying floor. The black garage turned into a shadow theater. An earthquake? No, more like Baba Yaga's hut, growing chicken legs and going for a walk. The garage was moving. Yes, I was being transported. I could hear the hum of an engine outside through the roaring wind. The light bulb flickered, going out, and then turning back on the next instant. What is that? A dog barking? I was thrown toward the generator. The rope slipped from the hook, and I fell on my back, my eyes bulging out of their sockets from the pain. The door flew open, confirming my hunch. Tree trunks flew by the blizzard. We were moving, probably under tow.
Есть кто живой? Пяшка! Алло!
Roma? Anyone alive? Bayasha! Romka. Am I not hallucinating after all? Would Romka actually save us? I spun my legs. Romka jumped into the garage like a passenger who was late for his train. He frowned for a second and rushed toward me, ripping off my gag.
А хер ли ты тут забыл?
Petrov? The fuck are you doing here? I didn't have an answer for that question.
Ставить бы тебя тут помирать, лошара.
I'd love to leave you to die here, loser. His words made my whole body turn to stone.
Баловый, что я нелюдь? Ща, погоди.
Relax, I'm kidding. What am I, some kind of monster? Just give me a moment. Roma pulled out his butterfly knife and sliced the ropes. I moaned from the pain in my stiff wrists. Roma looked at me with a smirk on his face as I stood up.
Будешь должен отсос.
You'll owe me one, sucker. The floor under us shook like crazy. We had to balance to avoid sliding toward the walls.
Поздравляю, Петров. Ты не убийца.
Congratulations, Petrov. You're not the killer. Well, thanks for nothing, I guess.
Как ты здесь оказался?
How did you end up here?
В боевике, прикинь.
Just like in a damn action movie. Bayasha went missing, see? The cops went to me since I'm his old pal and all.
То сё, с нами, говорит, поедешь.
And Tikhonov was like, you're going with us.
Меня в бобик
They
посадили.
put me in the car. We drove around all over the neighborhood.
Считай, повезло.
We got lucky. The killer was moving his garage and we got on his tail. Shots were fired outside. Dogs barked.
Кто маньяк?
Who's the killer? Roma was about to open his mouth when he heard another wheezing sound from under the tarp. Bayasha! We rushed toward the sound and pulled out the tarp with 4 hands. My brain almost got fried from what I saw. There was an industrial meat grinder under the tarp. Katya! Oh, she's okay though. In its bowl, that stank of motor oil lay tied up Katya. Her eyes, full of desperation and tears, were directed at us. Katya moaned into the gag.
Вытащим!
We'll get you out of here.
Осторожно, Ром!
Careful, Roma. Romka heard me plea, but there was already nothing he could do. The garage shook again, and the delinquent was thrown against the meat grinder's side, breaking the lever under the bowl. Fuck! The giant machine rumbled like an empty belly. The knives came into motion inside its cast iron mouth. Katya's eyes bulged out even more. I realized that she was sliding into the meat grinder's throat. A couple more seconds and the blades would slice off her feet. Romka, still wincing from pain, tried to move what was left of the lever with his bare hands, but it was completely broken. I shoved my hands into the bowl and grabbed Katya by the shoulders. My fingers slipped. The girl's feet touched the blades. The hellish spiral got painted red and Katya's face turned crimson. She was probably about to lose consciousness. I clutched the collar of Katya's coat and pulled the girl toward me as hard as I could. Romka rushed to help, stopping our classmate from falling into the bowl. Who's there? Sakhanov stumbled into the garage, completely out of breath. I didn't even notice how the garage stopped. Gunshots continued cackling outside. Lieutenant, help us! The place where the ghost sat a minute ago caught my attention. The generator! Sakhanov acted without delay. He dashed to the generator while we were holding Katya in place. The policeman turned off the motor in a flash. I am not gonna lie, for a second, my brain was like, what if Sakhanov was the killer? Because no one would guess that. No one would guess that the detective was the one that was doing it. The giant machine rumbled with its cast iron bowels for one last time and went silent. The blade spun idly for a couple of seconds and stopped. Blood dripped down from them.
Петров, мы с тобой, конечно, не кенты, но я все-таки тебя освободил.
Petrov, we're not buddies or anything, but I did free you.
Значит, ты мне должен.
That means you owe me.
Не говори, что я...
Don't tell anyone about the lever. I replied with a curt nod and he relaxed, seemingly believing me.
Квиты.
We're even now. We took Katya out of the meat grinder, and she went limp into Sakhanov's hands. She lost consciousness, and that was probably the best outcome for her. The wind whistled into the open door. The sight of my classmate's bloody foot was stomach churning. She was missing a big toe, and the next one to it dangled in the air, still connected to the foot with a tiny patch of skin. No longer will Katya be able to be the fastest girl in our PE class. That thought almost brought me to tears, but I held on.
Твою мать.
Fuck. No. No way. I turned to Roma. He was holding a sneaker that he excavated from the pile of shoes.
Яша. Братан.
Bayasha. Bro. We weren't friends, quite the contrary, but seeing Romka so distraught, so helpless, made me empathetic. I could only imagine how tough it was to lose a friend.
Уходим отсюда.
Let's get out of here. Romka let go of the sneaker. We went out into the raging snowstorm one after another. Pines loomed over us. They reminded me of hollowed-out bones with the burial winds howling inside of them. Snow piled over the cabin of an overturned tractor. The garage was stuck in a snow pile. A police car was also parked nearby. The flicker of police sirens, the horrifying trees, and the white wasteland. I'll never forget this sight. More shots rang out in the distance, and then an epiphany came. The tractor driver. He transported the garage from one place to another. He was the serial killer.
Доронин и остальные, пошли за похитителем.
Dorian and the others went to chase the kidnapper. Zoka ran up to my legs, wagging her tail.
Героиня наша.
There you are, our little hero.
Героиня?
A hero?
Она нас на гараж вывела. Получается, твой запах поймал.
Sparing the dog saved our life. That's right. That's right. I made a good choice this time. That's right. But you should always spare the dog. Even if sparing the dog got us killed. I don't care. I don't care. She brought us to the garage. Probably caught your scent.
Пойдешь в милицию служить, нюхач.
Want to work in police? Snifferhead? Zoka barked in agreement. I rubbed the dog behind its back. The forest became unbearably cold. Sakhanov looked at Katya with fraternal tenderness and then turned to us.
Аптечка под бардачком. Пацан, Антон,
Look at her
притащи
poor
ко мне.
knees. You know what? Those might not be her knees. She might be wearing tights. I don't think that's her skin. It's not. Look, okay, it's her clothing. I have a first aid kit under the glove box. You, Anton, bring us some bandages. I completed his request in a flash. Sakhanov held Katya's foot. Large red drops fell to the snow. I bandaged Katya's foot, stealing glances at the lieutenant as if to ask him with my facial expression if I was doing everything right.
Теперь узел. Отлично.
Now tie a knot here. Good. A small rime-looking stain soaked through the white threads. It's just red rime doesn't exist. I could barely take my eyes off of it.
Пацаны, побудьте с ней в машине.
Guys, stay with her in the car.
Я найду Доронина.
I'll go find Dorinian. Sakhanov carried Katya to the car.
Следи, чтобы у нее ноги были выше от земли.
Make sure her legs are
А то,
elevated.
не дай бог, от
Or she
потери
might die
крови
from
помрет.
blood loss. The policeman said that and left us. Aw. Roma, lost in his own thoughts, sat on the front seat, leaning against the glass with his temple. He wasn't in the mood to talk to me anymore. I sat on the back seat beside Katya. She looked weak, pale like gypsum, but also somehow breathtakingly beautiful. She didn't look like a sly snake anymore. She was a swan dying in my arms now. When I got warm, I started to come to the realization that I survived, and a chapter of my life that was pure horror was now over. I tore my eyes off the blizzard raging outside and looked down in surprise. Katya's fingers clutched my hand. She looked at me from under her half-closed eyelids.
Это ты... Ты спас меня.
You saved me. I was about to say that Romka was with me and that the police headed by Tikhonov was also nearby, but I remained silent for whatever reason.
Спасибо.
Thank you. I replied with a tired smile.
Отдыхай. Нам всем нужно отдохнуть.
Get some rest. We all need to get some rest. I turned to the window and continued to enjoy the sensation of Katya's fingers on my hand. Jesus. The bell rang. Throngs of school kids tumbled out of the classrooms. The wind covered the schoolyard with snow. It thawed on the boots and dirtied the floors inside. It had been 2 weeks since we got out of the serial killer's den. Romka barely came to school, so I had no chance of talking to him. The last time I saw Katya was when we sat in the police car. Lilia Pavlovna took a leave to care for her daughter, so we had a substitute teacher for now. If Dad didn't talk Mom out of locking me home, I wouldn't be here either. My parents always had their eyes on me since that incident. My classmates looked at me differently too, as if they were looking at an alien from a distant planet. I couldn't gauge who that alien was. That friendly one from a Steven Spielberg movie, or the alien. I stood near the window and stared at the white-veiled yard. The world shrank to the school and its surroundings, walled off by the swirling darkness. The killer managed to escape. He's still at large. He's probably equipping a new garage, even blacker, even scarier than the previous one.
Привет, мой герой.
Oh, Polina's back. Oh my gosh. I wonder if she's gonna apologize for going absolute crazy. Hey there, my hero. Polina smiled at me, her hands behind her back.
Как же мы давно не общались.
We haven't talked in so long.
По телефону общались вчера.
We called just yesterday.
Телефон не считается.
That doesn't count.
А вживую не болтали целую вечность.
It's the real-world interactions that matter.
Как поживаешь?
How have you been? How have I been? Really? I've been a person who witnessed a pair of Katya's toes get sliced off by giant blades.
Все в порядке.
I'm fine, I think.
Ты изменился. Повзрослел.
You've changed. You look more mature.
До сих пор поверить не могу, что наш Петров спас человека из мясорубки.
I still can't believe this Anton Petrov had saved someone from a meat grinder.
Мы с Ромкой.
Together with Romka.
Ромка. Странно, что он никого случайно не убил. С его везением.
I'm surprised he didn't kill anyone by accident, considering his luck. Polina's forehead puckered.
А вот ты совсем другое дело. Рядом с тобой безопасно.
You're different. I feel safe around you.
Девушки такое чувствуют.
Girls have a sixth sense for that kind of thing. I was completely at a loss.
Ну, не знаю.
I don't know.
Не скромничай. Хотя ты такой милый, когда краснеешь.
No need to be humble, although your red face looks cute.
Вот бы таких рыцарей, как ты, в мире было больше.
I wish there were more knights like you out there in the world.
Это бы решило многие проблемы, да?
That would have solved so many problems, don't you think? Did she call me a knight? I grunted something unintelligible, my face red as a beet, cursing my shyness and my mind. Polina sneaked a glance out the window at the white blankets of snow floating outside. There was an impenetrable wall of darkness past the flower beds.
Думаешь, этот псих еще в поселке?
Do you think that psycho is still in the village?
Надеюсь, нет.
I hope not.
Милиция прочесала все вдоль и
The
поперек.
police have scoured every corner around here.
У меня к тебе просьба, Антон.
I have a favor to ask, Anton.
Дедушка сейчас в больнице.
Grandpa's in the hospital right now.
Что-то серьезное?
Is it serious?
В его возрасте все серьезно.
Anything can be serious at his age.
Знаешь, мне страшно даже за закрытыми дверями.
You see, I feel scared, even behind closed doors.
А на улице, в метели, сегодня по дороге в школу я расплакалась.
And outside, in the blizzard, I broke out crying while walking home.
Глупо, да?
That's stupid, right?
Вовсе не глупо.
It's not stupid at all. I felt like she was never this candid with me. The straightforward attitude fit Polina well. It adorned her already beautiful face. And her magical eyes, suspicious and trusting at the same time. Anyone would want to become a genuine knight under their watchful gaze.
Ты бы
мог проводить меня домой после уроков?
Can you escort me home after school?
Другие мальчики мне предлагали. Но что они сделают, если появится убийца?
Other boys have offered themselves, but what will they... Huh? Other boys have offered themselves, but what if they... Odd if the killer appears. OD if the killer appears. I'm not sure what that's supposed to say. I was flattered, but still couldn't help but question myself. What would I do? Whip out an Uzi just like Chuck Norris? Polina looked at me as if she was sure I carried a gun like that in my school bag, and maybe even multiple of them.
Мы договорились?
So what do you say? I wanted to reply, but then I saw two people near the stairs.
Аккуратнее.
Lilia Pavlovna and Katya walking on crutches. She lost weight and looked frail after weeks of absence. I remembered her tender gaze back when we sat in the police car. That horrible day became just a tad bit brighter thanks to that bonding moment between two people who escaped certain death. The bell rang. I shuddered.
Встретимся после уроков.
I'll see you after school. We entered the classroom. The rumors of Lilia Pavlovna coming back spread faster than she could get here. The kids were already standing at attention when she came in.
Садитесь.
You can sit down.
Катюш, дойти сама сможешь?
Can you walk there by yourself, Katya, dear?
Смогу, мам.
Oh my gosh, how did I not realize that was her mom? I can, Mom. Katya hobbled her way along the desks, and our classmates drilled holes in her with their eyes. They were probably imagining themselves in her place, inside that psycho's garage. Or maybe they wondered how it felt to move around without two toes on one of their legs. Katya skipped her usual place as if she forgot where she sat during her sick leave and stopped at my desk. She just stood there, her eyes downcast. I was taken aback. Doubly, so because we were being watched by an anxious Polina who was half turned toward us.
Подвинешься?
Can you move? I didn't know what to do. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, as Dad used to say. Polina squeezed a pencil on her hand. It seemed like it was about to break. That pressure transferred to my spine.
Мне долго ждать?
Well?
Что?
What?
Ты тормоз?
Что они там делают?
Are you slow or what? She finally looked at me. I didn't miss that thorny stare at all.
К шкафу подвинулся очкарик.
Move to the cabinet, Four Eyes.
Ну чего они сцепились?
I lost my breath for a moment from anger. Four Eyes? Really? After everything that happened? My cheeks burning, I obeyed her order.
На полу.
On the floor.
Что?
What?
На полу грязь.
There's dirt on the
Я
floor.
на дежурной сегодня.
I'm not cleaning duty today.
Это грязь с твоих копыт. Убрал!
Jeez. That dirt is from your hooves. Clean it.
Катя, молодец.
I gulped without looking at my classmates and hoped they weren't looking at us in that
Видал, как
moment.
она его?
I hoped they weren't enjoying this humiliating spectacle.
Хорошо.
Ну, это
All
же
right.
конечно, зря. Но, с другой стороны, он сам
With my eyes locked on Katya, I wiped off a small puddle under the desk with the sole of my shoe.
Ты почему стоишь, Кать?
Why are you standing there, Katya?
Лилия Павловна, тут Петров насвинячил.
Lilia Pavlovna. Petrov made a mess here.
Да-да.
Yes.
Вот жду, пока он за собой уберется.
I'm waiting for him to clean it up.
Петров, быстрее, пожалуйста, не задерживай урок.
Petrov, hurry up, please. We need to start the lesson. I felt like my whole head was burning, and the words that left my mouth were little fireballs.
Серьезно? Убери.
Really now? Clean it up?
Это твое
Is
спасибо.
that your gratitude?
Ну, дела.
Katya's face reddened, but she continued her arrogant staring contest nonetheless. I couldn't stop anymore. I raced down a proverbial hill. I burst out. Or was it the fear that bottled up inside me for a month that burst out? I pushed away the chair beside me, hunched down, and started wiping the floor with the sleeve of my shirt.
Чисто. Может, Ваше Величество уже сесть?
Is that good enough? Can Her Highness finally sit down? Katya let out an insolent snort.
Что ж,
Yes, good job.
хорошая работа.
Кстати,
By the way,
сама себя вытаскивай в следующий раз.
next time I won't come to your rescue, idiot.
Петров!
Ну все, папа.
Lilia Pavlovna's eyes widened. She saw
Что ты
red.
себе позволяешь? К директору! Быстро!
Did she not hear how Katya literally was talking to us? I know that it's her daughter, but wow. How dare you say that? To principal's office now. Look at her smiling. Ugh. I jumped up in defiance.
Так-то он прав. Могла бы и поблагодарить.
He's right, though. The least she could do is thank
Он
him.
ей вообще-то жизнь спас.
He saved her life. The class buzzed in agreement. They were clearly on my side. Before I could let that sink in, fate presented me with a new surprise. Katya swayed, and I relatively held her to stop her from falling over, and then sat her on my chair.
Прости меня, Антон.
I'm sorry, Anton. Her mask slipped. I saw the Katya that clutched my hand at the backseat of a police car
Я
again.
злюсь на свою ногу, а не на тебя.
I'm not angry at you. I'm angry at my foot.
Прости.
I'm
Я
sorry.
правда.
I'm an idiot. I mumbled something unintelligible in reply, shook by her sudden confession.
Сядешь уже?
Will you sit down?
Но, Лилия Павловна...
But Lilia Pavlovna.
Ладно. Садись, Петров.
Fine, Petrov, you can sit.
Давайте уже начнем урок.
Let's start class. I took my seat. Katya's gaze was fixed on me. It felt ticklish. I turned around and caught Polina's stare. She was trying her best to comprehend what was going on between me and Katya. But that was something I couldn't comprehend myself.
Знаешь, в больнице я много думала.
You know, when I was in the hospital, I've been thinking.
Я была несправедлива к людям.
I was always so unfair towards others,
А сильнее всего...
and especially towards you.
Я уже и забыл.
I'd already forgotten about it.
Ага, забыл.
Yeah, right, liar. She accidentally pushed my black pencil case with the race car on it with her elbow off the desk. I bent to pick it up. So we're gonna grab, okay, we're grabbing it. For a moment, my gaze froze on Katya's bandaged foot. Then I straightened up. Katya pushed a note toward me. Promise you won't lie anymore. I smiled at her, took my pencil, and wrote one more line on the piece of paper. I'll do my best. Katya took out a red pen from a pencil case. She did a meticulous check on all the letters, then squinted cunningly at me and put a B+ under my line.
Да-да, за чистописание.
Yes, yes, yes.
Больно
Your cursive is a bit too messy, so it's not an A. I snorted in reply.
Оценку можно исправить.
But you can improve your grade. I felt Polina stare on the back of my head. It felt awkward, anxious, but also pleasant. A whole storm of emotions.
Допустим, я хочу 5.
Let's say I want an A.
Тогда разрешаю проводить меня после уроков.
Oh my god, it's gonna give us a choice. It's gonna give us a choice, I bet. Walk home with Polina or walk home with Katya? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Then you can walk me home after school.
То есть нет.
No, I mean... She flashed me a guilty smile, chasing away the shadow of her
Я
former
очень
self.
прошу тебя меня проводить.
Can you walk me home, please? Pretty please? That was something I had to dwell on for a moment. 2 of the prettiest girls in class both asking me to walk them home. Am I being delusional? Should I take my meds? I opened my mouth, but then noticed a child, clearly younger than us, sitting at Romka's and Bayash's desk. Was it the other girl? The other little girl that looked like his sister? A hood that covered their entire face. Horror flooded the empty space inside my soul. My throat squeezed shut, depriving me of oxygen. I'd seen that silhouette before, in the serial killer's garage, beside the generator. My jaw slacked even harder.
What?
Katya? Yes? I tore my eyes off the strange silhouette, put my hand in my pocket, and pushed out a pill into my hand from the package. Then immediately chewed on it.
Парта Ромы.
Look, Roma's desk. I looked back at the child, but they were gone. Just 2 empty chairs and a desk, heavily cut by a pocket
И
knife.
что с ней не так?
Is there something wrong with it? Is there something wrong with me?
Ничего, забудь.
Nothing. Forget it.
Простите, что прерываю.
Tikhanov, sorry to interrupt your class. Lieutenant Tikhanov entered the classroom and took off his hat.
Ну что вы, всегда вам рады.
Oh, no need to apologize. We're always happy to see you.
Меня интересуют ученики по имени Петров и Пятифанов.
I want to talk to 2 of your students, Petrov and Pityafanov.
Пятифанов, насколько я понимаю, болеет.
Pityafanov is at home sick right now, as far as I know.
А Петров он.
Petrov is
мозолит
here,
глаза.
being an eyesore. Ah! Tikhanov found me with his eyes before clearing his throat. He then took a diploma out of his folder and started reading.
За храбрость, неравнодушие и мужество, проявленное при спасении жизни.
For his bravery, upstanding attitude, and the courage he showed while saving another person's life.
Ну встань же, тебе говорят.
Come on, stand up. It's for you. I followed her order, hypnotized by the diploma's official wording.
Администрация поселка и уполномоченные области по правам детей.
The village
Выносят
administration and the regional
благодарность.
children's commissioner want to thank you, Anton Petrov. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Ah, you're so kind. The class broke out into roaring applause. Katya beamed with joy. Polina looked at me, glittering eyes, smiling.
Наш Петров! Ура!
To our Petrov! Lilia Pavlovna pulled up her glasses and put a handkerchief to her eyes.
Стыдно, товарищи.
I'm so ashamed, everyone.
Я-то думала, Катеньке померещилось все в бреду.
I thought it was all just
Оказывается,
Katya's
правда?
delusion, but I guess it's true.
Петров, значит, моего ребенка спас. А я ему к директору.
Petrov here saved my child, and I wanted him to end up in the principal's office.
Отставить к директору. На доску почета. Вот
No
это я
principal's office for him. Hall of Fame would be better. At that moment, I imagined my photo, but it wasn't hanging in the Hall of Fame, but on a notice board, neighboring all the other kids. That image sullied my otherwise perfect triumph. I helped Katya go down the stairs after class. I carried her crutches and held her by the elbow. I'm gonna save because I have a feeling we're getting close to where it's gonna give us a choice whether or not we're gonna walk Katya home or Polina. I'm gonna choose Polina today if it gives us the choice because I chose the Polina, but I am gonna come back and see what happens if we do Katya. I might actually do it in the same episode if it's not too long. We walked out to the schoolyard together.
Знаешь, что самое странное?
You know what the weirdest thing is?
Я до сих пор чувствую пальцы.
I can still feel my toes.
Их нет, но я их чувствую.
They're not there, but I can still feel them.
Был бы я порасторопнее.
If only I acted quicker.
Брось, даже Супермен бы не справился.
Oh, stop it. Even the Superman couldn't have done it better.
Тихонов сказал, я легко отделалась.
Tikhonov said I got super lucky, and he's right.
С выздоровлением, Кать.
I'm glad you recovered, Katya. Polina walked out from around the corner, her stare directed at Katya. She endured her classmate's scorching gaze with pride.
Спасибо, Полин.
Thank you, Polina.
И тебе, и твоему парню. Он тоже молодец.
Both you and your boyfriend. He did well, too. I felt like Katya wanted to once again remind me what kind of relationship Romka and Polina had.
Если ты о Пятифанове, то между нами ничего нет. Он определенно молодец, но...
If you mean Pityafanov, he's not my boyfriend. He's a nice guy, but...
Вы куда-то собираетесь?
Are you two going somewhere? Katya didn't let me reply.
Я до сих пор хромаю. Вот, уговорила нашего героя проводить меня.
I'm a cripple, so I convinced our hero to walk me home.
Да-да-да.
Yes. This was so awkward.
Полин,
Polina, look.
Я же не идиотка. Все понимаю.
Wait, I don't get a choice? Because I was going to choose Polina. I'm not an idiot. I understand. Sadness splashed in Polina's eyes for a moment, but she smiled as if accepting her fate.
Ты джентльмен. Как говорит дедушка, вымирающий вид.
You're a true gentleman. A dying breed, as my grandpa would say.
Не каждый повезет.
Not every girl can get this lucky. The blizzard was covering the schoolyard with snow. Polina turned around and stared anxiously at the darkness, completely lost.
Задолбала строить из себя жертву.
Stop acting like a victim. It makes me sick. The last line said in a whisper was only meant for my ears.
Такое чувство, что она мечтала бы поменяться со мной местами, лишь бы все ее жалели.
It seems she'd happily swap places with me as long as everyone pitied her. Something rustled in the darkness and Zolka ran out to the schoolyard.
Ой, песик!
Oh, a doggy! Zolka noticed Polina and growled ever so slightly. Polina blinked. 2 tears ran down her cheek and froze, glistening in the
Ты тоже не
forest.
хочешь меня проводить?
So you don't want to walk me home either, huh? Zolka barked in a reply.
Ну что, идем?
Well, are we going?
Пусть эта квашня сама до дома добирается, пока не стемнело.
This wet blanket can go home by herself. It's not too dark yet. I get to choose. Okay, good. Sorry, Katya. Actually, no, you're still mean. I fixed my gaze on Polina for a moment and then turned back to Katya. I was in a tight spot. Not as tight as when I escaped the torture room, but I was still uncomfortable. I didn't want to upset Katya, yet it was painful to admit that she didn't change after losing her toes. She was still the same skillful manipulator.
Кать, я уже пообещал Полине.
No way. Melody of Love. You chose Polina. This is rare, apparently. It's like glowing with gold. Wow. Y'all chose Katya? Really? She's such a bitch. Why? Listen. If you did both choices, I get it. But if you only chose Katya, why? Why? Katya, you see, I've already promised Polina.
Но...
But...
Мы сейчас что-нибудь придумаем.
Don't worry, I know what to do. I raised my head.
Павловна!
The teacher showed her face
Я
in the
помог
window.
Кате спуститься. Заберете ее?
I helped Katya get down. Can you pick her up from here?
Конечно! Подожди, Катюш, я уже одеваюсь.
Of course. Wait for me, Katya, dear. I'll be right there.
Спасибо, Антон снова нас выручил.
Thank you for lending a hand, Anton. Katya just stood there, silent and pale. I got scared that she felt ill.
Ты в порядке?
Are you
Голова
all right?
кружится?
Feeling dizzy?
Кружится.
Yeah. There was anger in her voice now.
Тебе какое дело? Обещал правду говорить?
What do you care? Didn't you promise to tell the truth?
Лжец!
You liar!
С минусом, Петров!
E- Petrov. Polina's face reddened in the cold, and I could easily imagine lightning bolts shooting out of her eyes.
Прекращай истерику, Кать.
I love Polina. Stop being psychotic, Katya.
Мы с Антоном могли бы довести тебя до дома, а потом пойти ко мне.
Anton and I could walk you home and then go to my place.
Конечно, конечно!
Right, of course.
Лучше к черту сходите! Оба!
Why don't you go to hell instead, both of you?
С катертью дорога!
Good riddance. I was taken aback by her sudden outburst, so I decided to avoid further conflict. Fine, we'll go away. I led Polina away across the schoolyard. Katya stood beside the stairs and scorched us with a hateful glare. I noticed Polina flashing her a triumphant smirk over her shoulder. Are all girls like that? Do they all value boys over their friends? Okay, but Katya and Polina were never friends. Then again, Katya and Polina weren't exactly close, like I said. I don't know why she looks so sad. Like, he's right. Like, her losing her toes did not change her personality. She is still so rude. I also turned around, but the white haze had already shrouded a lonely figure, supporting itself with the crutches.
Давит на жалость. Актриса.
That drama queen is just pleading for our sympathy.
Ей действительно очень плохо сейчас.
No, she is in a horrible state right now.
Вспомни, как она настраивала всех против тебя.
Did you forget how she tried to ostracize you?
Такие люди не меняются.
People like her never change.
Хотя она и не заслужила того, что случилось.
Even though she didn't deserve what happened to her,
Никто не заслужил.
nobody can deserve that. I took Polina's school bag and we started walking on the snow-laden path. Polina giggled, dodging the snowflakes attacking her
Как
face.
умеешь?
Can you skate?
Немного.
A little bit.
Сходим как-нибудь на каток.
How about we go to the skating rink later?
Ладно.
Okay.
Давай как черепахи.
Let's walk turtle style. We turned our backs to the wind and started walking
Под
backwards.
ноги смотри, упадешь.
Watch your step or you'll fall.
Куда хочу, туда и смотрю.
I'll look wherever I want, thank you. She wanted to look at me, as it turned out. Her warm gaze contrasted with the weather. Then Polina slipped and tumbled into a snow pile, laughing. I came to the rescue, picked her up as she kept on giggling, and swept the snow off her overcoat. Right at that moment, Romka slipped out from behind the corner. I stood there unmoving, flopping my eyelids. I wasn't ready for a fight, but it was inevitable. Just seeing us together was enough for Romka to lose his mind. Judging by her stressed pose, Polina was afraid of the same thing. All of Romka's threats floated up in my memory. They gained even more weight, considering how bad Romka looked after his visit to the garage. He was pale, slouched, walking around as if in a daydream. I took a deep breath, but Romka interrupted me.
Были на уроках?
Going back from school? His questionnaire bore no threat at all. His voice was emotionless, almost robotic.
Ага.
Yeah?
Бяша объявлялся?
Have you seen Bayasha? I shook my head, surprised.
Ром, Бяша был в гараже.
Roma. Bayasha was in the garage.
Был и что? Мы тоже были живы-здоровы.
So what? We were there too, and we're safe and sound. He didn't look of sound mind to me at all.
Я не успокоюсь, пока не выясню, что с Бяшей.
I won't rest until I find out what happened to Bayasha. Roma's jaw cramped and his cheeks were white as snow despite the freezing cold.
Бяша столько раз из дома сбегал.
Bayasha runs from home all the time.
Бывает, кинет камушек мне в стекло.
He
Я
used to
окно
just throw a
открою,
pebble
чтобы он
into my
залез.
window so I couldn't open it and let him in.
На полу ему постелю. Он вертится всю ночь, как юла. Спать
And I
мешает.
would make him a place to sleep on the floor, and he would toss and turn for the entire night, keeping me awake.
Зато я знаю,
But at least I know that if
Случись у
anything
меня
bad were to
какое
ever
несчастье,
happen to
он
me,
всегда на помощь
he'd have my
придет.
back. Roma stared absent-mindedly at the falling snowflakes.
Все жду, когда Бяша снова камушек бросит.
I'm still waiting for him to throw the pebble. The last line Roma said so quietly I could barely hear him. The confession turned into a puff of steam that left his pallid lips. It evaporated in the frosty air of a short winter day. Roma pulled out a pack of posters from his coat, counted out several of them, and handed them to me. It was a missing person note for Igor Budev, along with Bayasha's photo and discerning features.
Развесь вдоль дороги.
Put them along the road. Without waiting for my reply, deep in his musings like in quicksand, he walked past us. Maybe he didn't even notice Polina, but maybe he no longer cared. His facial features were sharper, like he fought some disease for a long time, and his glassy eyes stared into space. And the next moment he disappeared into the blizzard, and we continued on our way.
Он теперь постоянно такой. Я пыталась с ним поговорить. Ни черта он не слышит.
He's always like that now. I tried talking to him, but he doesn't even pretend to listen.
Знаешь, он как скрипка с порванными струнами.
He's like a violin with torn strings.
Его мелодия угасает.
His melody is waning.
Он потерял друга.
He'd lost a friend.
Даже это не повод превращаться в зомби.
Even that is not a good reason to turn into a zombie.
Он забил на школу.
He stopped going to school.
Боюсь, как бы не начудил
I'm
чего.
afraid he will do something bad.
Каждый переживает
Everyone
трагедию
processes
по-своему.
trauma in their own way.
А как переживаешь ты?
And how do you process it?
А я не терял никого настолько близкого.
I haven't lost anyone that close to me.
Антон, ты сам чуть не потерялся. Мы с девочками об этом все время говорим.
You almost lost your own life, Anton. I always talk about that with the girls.
О чем?
About what?
Они считают, что у тебя железные нервы. И я
They think you have nerves made of steel, and I
так считаю тоже.
feel the same. A strange feeling took a hold of me. I was burning up from shame, but I also wanted to burst out laughing. Polina sneaked a cautious glance into the raging blizzard at some place beyond our field of vision.
Тебе совсем не было страшно?
Weren't you afraid at all?
Шутишь? Я думал, посидею.
Are you joking? I thought my hair would turn gray.
Ты так белобрысый.
You already have white hair. Polina giggled, but then turned serious the next moment.
Мы же встречали его каждый день.
We've
Этого
seen that tractor
тракториста.
driver every day.
Я постоянно об этом думаю.
I keep thinking of that.
Он выглядел таким нормальным.
It looked so normal. A total psycho like that?
Псих-то псих.
A
Но
cautious
осторожный.
psycho.
Перевозил гараж в метель, чтобы к утру не оставалось следов.
He only moved the garage during blizzard so there would be no trace of it the next morning.
Мне ночами снится, что я выглядываю в окно, а там эта черная гадость.
Sometimes I see nightmares where I look out the window and that black abomination is there.
Пару раз будила дедушку криками с просонку.
I even woke my grandpa up a couple of times with waking screams. With my waking
Теперь будить
screams.
некого. Деда в больницу положили.
Now I don't have anyone to wake up. Grandpa's in the hospital now.
В родной спальне дрожу от
I
тени.
shudder from every shadow in my familiar room. We walked up to Polina's front gate.
Ты и так для меня столько всего сделал.
You've already done so
Но
much
мне
for
еще
me.
одна просьба.
I have one more favor to ask.
Не мог бы ты сегодня остаться?
Can you stay at my place tonight?
Не знаю. 2 недель не прошло. Я у родителей на жестком контроле.
I don't know. It hasn't even been 2 weeks. My parents need to keep an eye on me all the time.
Ну придумай что-нибудь.
Then think of something.
Пожалуйста, пожалуйста, пожалуйста.
Please, please, please.
Я правда буду чувствовать себя в безопасности.
I will feel much safer with you here.
Если мама разрешит. Она сейчас на нервах.
Only if Mom gives me the green light. She's always so anxious nowadays.
Буду держать кулачки. И приберусь быстро, пока ты звонишь.
Why doesn't he asked his mom if she can stay at their place because she has no adult supervision. If she came to their place, she could sleep she could sleep in Anton's room, and Anton could be a gentleman and sleep in the living room. I mean, it'd be safer, and they would be able to keep an eye on him too. I'll hope for the best, and I'll also clean the place up a bit while you call. We entered the house. The hallway did look cold and unfriendly indeed. And it looked glum, even when the lights came on. Polina pointed to the phone and ran to her room. I think we've already interacted with everything in the house. I don't think we can interact with anything except what it wants us to. I gathered all my strength and dialed my home phone number. That's cool, we got to type it. I love how she wrote his name with the heart, followed by a rustling sound and complete silence. If that was Dad, he'd say, "I'm listening." But Mom always stayed silent after picking up, waiting for the person on the other end to speak
Мам,
up.
это я.
Mom, it's me.
Что задержали после уроков?
Did you stay late at school?
Нет, тут такое...
No, look,
Ты не
Mom.
волнуйся. Мне тут грамоту дали. За человечность и мужество.
Don't worry, I was given this diploma for humanity and valor. I used that to ace up my sleeve.
Меня бы устроили хорошие оценки. Без всяких прав.
I'd settle for good grades without any diplomas. The Snow Queen once again.
Просто одноклассники так обрадовались за меня.
It's just my classmates were so happy for me
И мы решили отпраздновать колой и тортом.
that we decided to celebrate it with cake and soda. It felt disgusting to lie, but what else could I say? That I didn't get into the garage voluntarily? That the only reason I left my home that accursed day was to get rid of Zolka?
Какой торт, Антон? Кому я готовила ужин?
A cake? Anton, dinner is waiting for you at home.
Снова хочешь вляпаться в неприятности?
Do you want to get in trouble again?
Я подумал, лучше остаться в большой компании, чем идти одному через поселок.
I thought it'd be better to stay in a crowd than go to the village alone.
К тому же там метель, и она усиливается.
Besides, there's a blizzard out, and it's getting stronger. My mom hesitated for a bit.
У отца машина опять заглохла, так бы отвез тебя домой.
Dad's car won't start again. He'd drive you home otherwise.
Хорошо, можешь остаться. Но чтобы
Okay,
завтра
you can
после
stay,
школы
but I
сразу
want you
домой.
home right after school tomorrow. Yes, it works.
Ты у кого ночуешь, Антон?
Whose place will you be staying?
Чтобы я, если что, позвонить могла.
So I could call them in case anything happens.
О,
I'm... Oh my gosh. Wait, we're gonna say oh my gosh. I took the posters out of my pocket and my gaze crossed with Nyasha's grainy photo.
у Будаева Игоря.
I'm at by Igor Budov's place. Budov's? Then I instinctively told her Polina's number.
3-24-92.
Передавай привет Игорю. И не забывай про лекарства.
Say hello to Igor and don't forget about your meds.
Спасибо, не
Thanks,
забуду.
I won't.
Мам, а как там Оля?
Mom, how's Alya doing? Mom dropped the call. She probably didn't hear my last question. I put away the phone and looked into the doorway that Polina entered. I was going to try calling again. The girl was stuffing her things into the
Можешь
closet.
заходить.
You can come in.
Джоанна спряталась в шкафу, так что пока ты в безопасности.
Joanna hid in the closet, so you're safe for now. That freaking cat.
Что сказала мама?
What did your mom say? I sighed in
Честно
reply.
говоря, думал, будет хуже. Наорёт и все.
To be honest, I thought it would be worse. She'd just scream at me when I get home.
Недооцениваешь свою маму, Петров.
You're underestimating your mom, Petrov.
Значит, отпустила?
So, she let you stay?
Ура, ура!
Aw.
Слышишь?
Hear that? Polina raised her finger. The blizzard outside was ferocious. All of the streets would turn into one big snow pile come morning.
Хорошо, что ты здесь.
It's good to have you here.
Тихо.
I'm such a scaredy cat.
Давай посмотрим телевизор, пока не выпила.
Let's watch TV before the power. The room descended into darkness. Evil winds howled outside. Goes out.
Сглазила. У нас такое постоянно.
Jinxed it. This happens all the time.
Постой. Где-то здесь.
Wait up, I should have. I feel like we're gonna hear scratch, scratch. Her grumpus is gonna come out of nowhere. Something rustled. Then a match lit up, illuminating Polina's face. Then the fire transferred to the candle. Despite the strong wind, the bedroom felt somewhat comfy now. Like when it's stormy outside, but you're at home, and now you're safe. You can fantasize about ghosts for the thrills, but I didn't want to think about something like that. Polina lit up several candles. I guess the power went out quite often in this house.
Телевизор отпадает. Может, сыграешь мне на гитаре?
No TV for us. How about you play the guitar for me?
Я? Да мне медведь все уши оттоптал.
Me? I'm pretty tone deaf.
Говорила я с этим медведем. Он сказал, ты преувеличиваешь.
You must be exaggerating. There's no way an artist as talented as you can be tone deaf.
Это очень просто.
Besides, this is so simple. Aww. She brought the guitar and stood behind me. I pulled on the nylon strings to the sound of dissonant protests of the instrument.
Говорю же.
Told you.
Тебе нужен репетитор.
You just need a tutor.
Беру дорого, но оно того стоит.
I charge a lot, but it's worth it.
Повернись-ка. Вот так. Не души ее. Пальцы сюда.
You gotta turn like this. Don't smother her. Put your fingers here. Polina molded my hand like a sculptor working with clay as she stood behind me. I felt the aroma of her shampoo. Warmth spread all over my body, and I stopped caring about the blizzard outside.
Потом сюда, сюда. Ем, АМ, Д,
Then here, and here. E minor, A minor, D, G, C.
Какой-нибудь Паганини?
Is this Paganini or something?
Если бы.
You wish.
Я эту мелодию сама написала. Нравится?
I wrote this melody myself. You like it?
Правда? Звучит как какой-то радиохит.
Really? To me, it sounded like a hit song from the radio.
Мелодия такая
This melody
цепляющая.
is so catchy and so familiar at the same time.
Спасибо. Ты меня прям засмущал.
Thank you. I'm kind of embarrassed now.
Я, конечно, эстраду
I'm
не
not a
жалую,
big fan of
но
pop
тут
songs,
соглашусь.
but here I have
Звучит
to agree.
попсовенько.
It sounds similar.
Давай, ты сам сможешь.
Come on, your turn now. Oh. Oh my gosh, wait.
А гитара точно настроена?
You untune the guitar, punk. We messed up. We messed up. We're trying again. We're trying again. Oh, wait. Oh, hang on. That's why I thought it was this one, but it's not. Wait. Wait a minute. Maybe it is this one. It would be this string, the last one. Number 1, right? Isn't that what I pushed the last time? Oh, it'll show me what it's going to hit. This was the one we did last time. I wonder if I have to start from the beginning. Which one did she start with? I feel like it was either that one or G. Let's try this one first.
Я безнадежен.
I'm hopeless. Okay, it wasn't that one. Again. All right, we're trying G. We're trying G. Hang on.
Давай, ты сам сможешь.
Okay, try G. Oh God, G was right, but I have to play the whole song. Are you kidding me? Wait. Am Am I just going down the thing?
Что ж, нужно было начинать с песен попроще.
No? Oh my gosh, I really have to watch what she does. Oh my god, again.
Давай, ты сам сможешь.
Okay, watch her. She does the first one, G. Okay. And then she did the one right under it. Okay. Okay, I got it. I got it. Don't lose. I got it now. G. Okay. Then she skipped a string, so she didn't do this one. She did that one. Yes. And then she did the one right underneath it, this one. And then number 2.
Класс! У меня получается!
It only took 3 or 4 tries, but we got it. Yes, I can do it.
А я говорила, у тебя пальцы гитариста.
See, I told you had the guitarist fingers. Wait a minute, is she gonna make me memorize this one now too? Oh my gosh, I am not. Oh my gosh. I actually got that part right? Wait, maybe she's going backwards. Maybe we skip a string again and go here.
Ну ладно. Сальвадор Дали тоже не был великим гитаристом.
Again. Okay, she did the last one. Last one, and then she did the first one. And then she did it again. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like she did this one, then I think she did that one, and then the top. Oh my god, I don't know. I know she did that one first. And then I think she went, was it this one or this one? I think it was this one. Okay. And then she went to G. Did she go back? Did she go back to this one first? She did. And then she ended on the number 1 again.
Ты клёвый репетитор.
We did it! It's just, you're a good teacher. Aha! Second try. Genius.
Ого, может, попробуешь и скрип?
Is that so? Then maybe you want to try the violin too. We're doing another one. Okay. Third one. Third one, or fourth one. Okay. Oh my god, I don't know. I lost. Okay, 1, 2. No, she did this one first. And then she did the fourth one. And then she did... Oh my god, was it the second or the third one? Second one? And then I think she did G. Okay. I think she finished with the first one. Okay, there's one more. Oh my god. Please tell me she ended where she started.
Я безнадежен.
I'm hopeless. I got them all but one on my first try. I got all but one on my first try. Are you serious? Again. Again. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay, 3. 3, 4. 3, 4, 2. G. 3, 4, 2, G. 1. 3, 4, 2, G, 1, 2. 3, 4, 2, G, 1, 2. 3, 4, 2, G, 1, 2. 3, 4, 2. 3, 4, 2, G, 1, 2. 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, G, 1, 2. G, 1, 2. The fact that I almost had it on my first try is crazy. I was so close. And then 2. We got it.
Слышишь?
We got an achievement for getting them all right. Perfection. Did you hear that? I can do it.
Оказывается, ты не только художник, но еще и рок-звезда.
Apparently you're not the only prodigy artist, but also a rock star.
У тебя уже биография покруче, чем у многих, смельчак.
Your biography is already cooler than most, you brave guy.
Какой я смельчак. Сбежал от тебя тогда, как дурачок.
I'm not brave. I ran away from you back then, like a total moron.
До сих пор стыдно.
It's still so embarrassing.
Я уже и забыла.
I've already forgotten about that. She looked me straight in the eye, and that stare made me feel cold and hot at the same time.
Может, переместимся на диванчик?
Shall we move to the couch? Dun, dun, dun. I felt my throat close up at her suggestion, but I still moved without hesitation. Okay, I feel like this episode, it started off really dark, and then it got sort of like there's going to be a happy ending, so I feel like something is going to happen, because why is it still going? If it was really going to end on a happy ending, I think it would have ended after he got the diploma. So something is going to happen. I feel like Alisa and the wolves, Alisa and her friends, it's only a matter of time before they come back. Polina put away the guitar and sat next to me.
Знаешь, я хотела тебе кое в чем признаться.
You know, I wanted to tell you something for a while.
Ты мне всегда нравился. С первой встречи.
I always liked you
раньше.
from the first time we met, or even before that.
Как это раньше?
Even before that?
Ну, знаешь, девочки придумывают принца.
Well, you know, we girls always come up with our own prince.
Мне кажется, я тебя придумала.
I think I made
А ты
you up,
появился.
and then you became real. Aww. I felt dizzy, as if I was in a Ferris wheel that carried me up into the sky. It turns out that you can fly even without magic or technology. No, what was happening in this room was the definition of magic. And only that magic could fight the dark affliction that poisoned our village. Polina was waiting for something, and she wasn't the only one waiting. Was I right? There was somebody else in the room who warranted my attention. Maybe it's the cat. I looked past Polina's shoulder and froze in horror. A kid, as if grounded, stood in the corner with their back to us. The hood covered their entire head. The petite silhouette was almost indistinguishable in the darkness. She had already appeared before me in the garage and during Lilia Pavlovna's class. Alya? Yet the kid that always mysteriously vanished looked like a ghost, and my Alya was alive and well. Is she, though?
Ты чего?
What's wrong?
Там кто-то есть.
There's someone there. Polina didn't even peer into the shadows that the candlelight couldn't reach.
Это Джоанна выбралась.
That's probably just Joanna. Illuminate. I brought the candle closer to chase away the illusion.
Видишь? Я же говорила.
See, I told you. A Thai cat stared at me in the light of the dancing flame. That's too creepy. But as soon as I moved the light, I saw a kid's silhouette wreathe in the darkness. I forced myself to look away from the annoying shadow in the corner. It was scary to talk to her, knowing that an uninvited guest was with us. It was time for me to confess.
Полина, у меня галлюцинация.
Polina, I have hallucinations.
Сейчас?
Right now?
И сейчас, и вообще.
Right now and just in
Я
general.
вижу странные штуки.
I see strange things.
Хочешь сказать, ты сумасшедший?
So you're saying you're crazy?
Доктор говорит, это переходный возраст, и скоро пройдет. Надо принимать лекарства.
The doctor said it was a puberty thing and it'll pass. I just need to take these meds.
Они у тебя с собой?
Do you have them on you? I nodded as I took out a package of pills.
Так чего ты ждешь?
Then what are you waiting for? What was I waiting for? Really? I looked into the corner again. The silhouette didn't change its pose, but now I was sure. It was Alya. A whisper barely audible in the howling wind. It broke through the thick layers of snow from under the frozen soil as if my sister was calling me from the grave. Oh, she's not okay. I think she's still in the forest. Anton! Come back, Anton! Come back to me, please!
Ты меня пугаешь.
You're scaring me. In the other world, Alya cried, calling my name over and over. My gaze stuck to the package of pills again. Take or refuse? Oh my gosh, I don't know. What happens if we refuse? Is that good or bad? Let's play it safe first. Let's take it and then we'll come back and refuse. I was ready to believe in ghosts, but Alya didn't die. Just half an hour ago, I talked to Mom over the phone. That made no sense. Red pill, you took medication at Polina's place. I threw the pills onto my tongue. A hand holding a glass of water appeared in front of my face. Polina gave me a sympathetic look and my heart was filled with gratitude. I drank the water.
Как?
Well? I darted a glance at the corner. The crying subsided. The hallucinations left me alone.
Я все-таки псих.
I am crazy after all. Polina replied with a relaxed smile.
Сложно отрицать.
Can't argue with that.
Но ты точно самый прикольный
But you're
из всех
definitely the
психов,
coolest
которые
person
мне
I've ever met.
встречались. Псих-красавчик.
You're a handsome psycho. Polina suddenly sat on my lap and gave me a very adult stare. My heart almost stopped, its rhythm broken as if I didn't know what to do, as if it didn't know what to do next. And then it pumped hot blood through all my veins. I remembered my dad. Did he go through something like this in his youth before he met Mom? Was there a girl like Polina in his life who gave him a look like that? And if yes, how did he not burn out from all of the emotion? Polina touched my shoulder, brushed off an invisible strand, and asked me in a whisper.
Не сбежишь?
You won't run away, right?
Никогда.
Of course. A kiss. The candles went out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. It just ended? Wait a minute. So nothing bad happened? Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're going back. We're going back, and we're going to see what happens if we refuse. Dark vessel, you've lost yourself. So we've gotten it. Does that mean the dark? Wait, oh, here it is. Coma escapee. The 6th grader who had fallen into a coma after taking the medicine prescribed to him by a psychiatrist had recently gone missing. We received this information from the chief medical officer at the regional hospital. The emergency response team had been trying to resuscitate the boy, but to no avail. However, on the 25th of February at 3 p.m., he awoke by himself and sneaked away from the hospital grounds. On the evening of the day, his sister Olya Petrova also went missing. We urge anyone who has information about the missing kids' whereabouts to contact the police and their parents at these phone numbers. Wait, a coma escapee. The endless forest at the end of the world. The wind, singing the songs of eternal hunger to the children of darkness. The pack was anticipating its feast. We were about to dine. The festival of meat and bones was about to start.
You took your time to bring us the treats, Bunny. Welcome. We're happy to see you.
The axe and the sack licking red juice that I held in my hand. I was finally home. The end? Wait, does that mean I killed Zolka? I'm confused. Did I kill Zolka? All right, let's go back. Okay, we're refusing. What happens if we refuse? But what if it's not an illusion? I squeezed the pills in my hand. Healthy as a horse, he refused to take medication at Polina's place. Now this was a rare achievement, apparently. Now then again, this episode did come out December 5th, so it might only be rare because not very many people have played it yet. What if Olya needs my help or wants to warn me about something?
Антон, быстрее!
Come on, Anton! I frowned after seeing fear that flashed in Polina's eyes. Not even fear, a growing panic.
Что происходит?
What's going on? The crying grew louder. It filled the entire room. Did Polina wince? Did she just look at the corner? Can she hear it too?
Так это не галлюцинации.
So, those weren't hallucinations. Polina shrieked when somebody pounded the door with their fist. Oh, it freaked her cat out too. The cat rushed toward the ceiling, tearing down the curtains and disappeared into the darkness. We both shrank. No, no, no! She shook her head while her whole body trembled. Olya's cries and the dreary song of the blizzard mixed into a single chorus. The door was getting pounded with his hands and feet. The flames flickered and the darkness around us grew thicker.
Polina! Polina, ты дома?
Is that her grandpa? Polina, are you home? It's her grandpa. It's just her grandpa who got discharged from the hospital. But why in the middle of the night? And why does his voice sound like his mouth is full of fangs?
Что ты наделал, Антон? Почему ты не выпил таблетки?
What have you done, Anton? Why didn't you take your meds? Tears burst out of her wide open eyes.
Выйди, внученька.
Come out, my dear child.
Целиком не выйдешь. Хоть кусок мне отрежь.
If you won't come out in one piece, at least give me a slice. Polina cried hysterically. The porch creaked. Keratin, did he learn how to walk? Walk in the blizzard? Walk in the darkness? A monstrous figure flashed in the window. The hot breath made the rime thaw, and a bulging eye flashed in the resulting clean spot. Somebody huge peered into the room to make sure it was full of fresh meat. Its claws broke the icy crust and scratched at the glass. The window popped, washing us with the freezing cold. Glass fragments scattered across the floor. Bony sickles grabbed at the window's frame. The wind broke into the room and put out most of the candles, but just a single one continued to burn after falling over. Probably so that I could see how the creatures of the night came to visit the screaming Polina. They had a leader. I covered my face with my hands from horror, looking at the giant creature that appeared on the window through my fingers. Its Its hungry eyes glowed in the semi-dark like silver moons. The creature reached out his hand and pointed at us with a dagger-like finger. A pack of mad wolves rushed into the room like a current that washed away everything in its path. Oh my gosh! The giant got in after them. It straightened out toward the ceiling with all of its horrifying height. Its long ears trembled above its bulky head. Shadows of the creatures rampaged on the walls. The candle fire spread to the tablecloth and it crackled as it burned. The smoke scorched the insides of my nose. Hungry demons smirked in the red-hot hell. Paralyzed with fear, I watched Polina jump up from the sofa trying to escape. When she reached the center of the room, she started shaking and fell to her knees in front of the eldritch abomination. The monster that came from the forest, from the chilly graves. The bunny reached out with his left paw and clutched Polina's hair. The fingers on his right hand turned like a fan, reveling in the helplessness of his victim. Reveling in the helplessness of his victim. His claws slowly traced the outline of the girl's face. Across the jawbone, under her chin, and up again. Polina screamed. Her skin buckled under the claw's pressure. Tears flowed along her bloodless cheeks. Burning slices of cloth floated down to the chair and burnt its stuffing. And then the monster sliced off Polina's entire face with one movement and threw it away like a useless rag. In the place where her face just was, I could see a wet, glittering red mush with threads of sinew and beads of fat. The flayed Polina squealed at the top of her lungs. The flames reflected in the red bog that filled her facial bones. Her scream turned into a shrill squeal, and then into some sort of cackling. Was she laughing? Oh, hell no. Polina turned what was left of her face to me. Nasty laughter emerged from a hole in the glossy meat. Her eyes, now devoid of eyelids, perfectly round, spun in their sockets. I wanted to die to stop watching that. I was paralyzed with fear.
Ты ничего не смог сделать, трус!
You couldn't do anything, coward!
Ничтожество!
You're useless. You couldn't even protect me. I plugged my ears with my fingers, but I could still hear her.
Romka был в 1000 раз лучше!
Romka was 1,000 times better.
Знай, неудачник!
Remember, loser.
Ни в одном мире ты меня не спасешь, Антон!
There is no world where you can save me, Anton.
Ни в одной вселенной я не буду твоей!
There is not a single universe where I'll be yours.
Ты обречен!
You're doomed! The fire raged on behind us. When the smoke reached Polina, she screamed again. She probably realized what was about to happen. A claw sliced open her stomach with a disgusting sound of ripping cloth. A paw entered the resulting cavity and pulled out her entrails. Magenta-colored intestines of a schoolgirl. The creature licked its lips and threw the stinking garland around Polina's neck, just like a rope, and then threw its paw up. Polina flew up, hung on her own intestines on top of the chandelier, and started swinging like a bell. Her legs banged against the walls with a monotonous hollow sound. Her weakening fingers scratched at the disgusting noose. The monster turned its maws toward me. Sticky strands of saliva dripped from it. Polina's arms relaxed, but her dead body continued to sway in the wind. The wolves got ready to pounce, waiting for their signal. Their muscles bulged under the dirty fur that stood on end. Their scab-covered tails trembled in anticipation of a feast. The monster slowly raised its hand and poked me with its claw.
We're outcasts because of likes of you. The whole pack had already bitten the moon. But you had to be special. Your meat will dissolve in stomach acid. Your soul will be claimed by the forest. Your name will be forgotten.
The wolves howled. The beast closest to me jumped, its jaws locking on my throat, its teeth sinking into my larynx. Polina's shadow swayed in the wall. I clung to the sticky wolf scalp with my fingers, channeling the last of my strength to push away the predator. He chewed on and tore apart my larynx.
Well, is it scary to die?
Alia! I gargled on my own saliva, thinking that it was blood unopened to my eyes. Alia's scream stopped, but its echo still resounded inside my skull. The pain was gone. The wolves, the monster, the dead Polina, all of it was gone. I was transported from the burning bedroom in Carrington's house to my own hallway. Was all that just a dream? I felt around my intact neck. Not only the night at Polina's place, but the entire last month, the wounded Katya, and our escape from the garage, too. Was all of that a product of my delusional brain? Alia was still with me on the floor, but not where I left her. She was now lying on my chest. As if while I was out of it, she woke up and tried to save me, by calling out to me, by getting me out of the clutches of horror with her scream. And then she lost consciousness again. I leaned in and slid my fingers across her warm cheek. The blizzard crashed at the windows. The clocks ticked loudly. Black figures moved toward the house, shrouded by darkness. They were hungry. They still waited for their treat. I needed help, so I ran into the hallway, slipping and sliding. Make a call. I clutched the phone. The speaker was silent at first, then barely audible beeps came through. I imagined the post swaying in the wind, the wires ringing as they were about to be snapped in half by hungry jaws. My fingers spun the dial. I dialed Polina's number. The phone vibrated with beeps as short as my breath. The note with Tikhonov's number that I had earlier came in handy. The dial creaked, measuring the numbers. I twirled the cord around my finger and prayed that the policeman was out of station.
Старший лейтенант Тихонов слушает.
Senior Lieutenant Tikhonov on the phone. His voice battled its way to me through nature's wrath. It flowed down the icy wires.
Антон! Антон Петров!
Парнишка из дома у леса?
The boy who lives at the edge of the forest?
Помню такого.
Yeah, I remember you.
Товарищ милиционер, мои родители пропали.
Sir, my parents went missing.
Вы обязаны приехать и забрать меня с сестрой в участок.
You must come here and take my sister and me to the station.
Нам угрожает опасность.
We're in danger here.
Успокойся, пацан. Мама с папой скоро вернутся.
Calm down, lad. Mom and Dad will be back soon.
Небось застряли из-за
They're probably
метели.
stuck somewhere because of the blizzard.
Но я видел.
But I saw.
Видел что?
What did you see?
Чудовищ в звериных масках.
Monsters in animal masks.
Приезжайте, умоляю
Come,
вас.
I beg you. A long pause followed.
Богатая фантазия, приятель.
You've got one hell of imagination, buddy.
Тебе сколько?
How old are you again? 12?
Вот взрослый мужик.
You're a grown man. You can take care of yourself and your little sister.
Запри дверь, никому не открывай. И жди родителей.
Lock the door, don't open it for anyone, and wait for your
Но,
parents.
лейтенант!
But sir! There was a tinge of annoyance in Tikhonov's voice as he replied.
Напоминаю, по поселку шляется особо опасный преступник.
Should I remind you that there's still a dangerous wanted criminal wandering about the village?
У меня 2 сотрудника
And I
еле
only
на
have 2
ногах
people here,
держатся.
and even if they are barely holding on, I can't go to every frightened schoolboy with his fake emergency.
Разве нормально в твоем
Should you
возрасте
really be afraid of that
бояться
dark at your age? I turned right up to my hair roots.
Это не просто темнота.
That's not a simple darkness. I wasn't heard.
Ты понимаешь, что от моей работы зависят жизни похищенных детей?
Do you realize that the lives of those kidnapped kids hinge on my work? The blood pulsating in my temples stunned me, made me blind. A scarlet flash of hysteria lighted up on my brain. Convince him or die. I went all in, fully aware that mine and Alia's lives were at stake here.
Помните, вы рассказывали о своем племяннике, который хотел пойти в школу милиции и помогать людям?
Remember how you told me about your nephew who wanted to go to a police school to help people?
Помню.
Right.
А еще я помню, как
I
просил
also remember
тебя
that I
не
asked you to
совать
mind
нос
your own
куда не
business.
следует.
Мне хотелось помочь вам в поимке преступника, но теперь...
I wanted to help you catch the perpetrator, but now...
Кажется, я знаю, что случилось с пропавшими
I think I
детьми.
know what happened to the missing kids. I was afraid that the lieutenant wouldn't let me finish, but he just remained silent in anticipation. The wind pulled at the wires.
Вова, Семен, Катя. Они все мертвы.
They're all dead.
Откуда такая уверенность? У тебя есть чем подтвердить свои слова?
I'm so confused. They're all dead. We already saved Katya's life at the beginning. Wait, what do you mean? Why are you so sure? Do you have any proof of that? I stopped to think. Yeah, there clearly wasn't enough proof.
Отчасти.
Not much.
Но я видел своими глазами.
But I saw it with my own eyes.
Улики, пацан. Ты слышал такое слово?
Wait, is it because we didn't get anything of Katya's? There must have been something we were supposed to get of Katya's. So maybe we're supposed to choose Katya instead of Polina. Because we have Simon's ring and we have Vova's mitten. We don't have any evidence or anything that belonged to Katya. So maybe we were supposed to go to her house to get evidence. Evidence, my boy. Have you heard that word?
Но...
But...
Довольно.
Enough.
А теперь
Now
послушай,
listen to me.
забудь все, что ты там видел. Это ничего не доказывает.
Yep, that's what it was. We got into team and said, don't buy it. We didn't get enough evidence, and I really think it was Katya's. Forget whatever you saw there. You can't prove anything with that.
Я сам видел
I
такое,
have
о
also
чем в
some
жизни
news.
не сообщу в
I have
отчет.
also seen some things I'd be scared to put into my reports.
Иначе меня примут
People
за
will think I'm
сумасшедшего.
insane. I'll get
Отстранят от
suspended, and that's
работы
going to be the
и
end of
пиши
this
пропало.
whole accursed
Некому будет.
investigation.
Вот тогда вы всем
And then the entire
поселком
village will drown in
горячими
tears.
слезами
Mark
умрете.
my words. I heard the wail of a distant police siren
В
on the other
общем-то,
end.
у нас тут еще 2 срочных вызова.
Look, we have 2 more emergencies
ты
here. As for you,
Хочешь помочь
you
поймать
want to help me catch the
преступника?
perpetrator, just stop
Просто
calling
не
me without
отвлекай
good
меня
reason.
без
Got it?
причины. Понял?
Пожалуйста.
Please.
Как я уже сказал, папа с мамой приедут с минуты на минуту.
Like I said, your mom and dad will be back in a
До
minute.
свидания.
Bye-bye. He chuckled and added just one more with a lethal dose of irony in his voice.
Коломбо.
Stupefied, I dropped the beeping phone. In the kitchen, the fridge grumbled as it turned off. The lights went out, flinging me into complete darkness. But it only lasted for a moment. Only it seemed like the peculiar phantoms on my hallway that pretended to be shadows from our furniture creeped closer.
Мертвые к мертвым.
Oh, they're coming. Ashes to
Живое
ashes.
к живому.
Dust to dust. I started whispering the useless chant, but stopped midway. Nature wailed on the other side of the door barrier. Whoever was walking toward the house, squeaking with the snow, wasn't my parents. They wouldn't crawl on our roof, scratching it with their claws. They wouldn't look into our kitchen windows. We need to barricade ourselves before it's too late. I chopped up the cabinet with an axe to acquire some building material. Zolka circled around my legs, following all my actions with curiosity. Board up. Metal nails dug into the wood. I slammed their heads with the axe's butt. I nailed the planks to the window frame, shielding the house from the horror creeping in the blizzard. Another window was barricaded with pieces of furniture. I pulled at them to check for integrity. I wandered around the house that seemed frighteningly big now and suffocated on the thought that I'll stumble into a scowling monster as I turn another corner. I would go to the kitchen but end up in the black garage pretending to be it. Frosty wind scratched at the door. Let us in. Something evil flashed in the gaps between the planks. Feed us. I sat on the stairs and fixed my gaze on the front door. Oh, look at him holding the axe. He's ready. I mean, he is gonna fight for his sister. With an axe on my lap, with a heart beating so hard it could be used to hammer in nails, I sat and stared, my whole body shivering. I sat and stared, losing the last vestiges of my sanity. I sat and fell into slumber. Well, that's not smart. Ah, great. Some hero. I jumped as if something bit me. My sleepiness was washed away by the incessant ringing of the doorbell. Did Dad return with the doctor, or was it Mom carrying bags of medicine? Or maybe that hungry pack of animals showed up to dine. I sneaked around the hallway. The planks under my feet squeaked, giving me away.
Кто там?
Who's there? Silence. Or did someone answer me, but was silenced by the blizzard? I pressed my face against a peephole, but it was shaded with rime. There was only a blurry, barely discernible silhouette on the porch. Were they wearing a mask? Probably not. I had an equal chance of getting help from the night guest or being torn to pieces right in the hallway. Zolka. Zolka tried to my side from the kitchen and snarled at the door. It was angrily clawing on the floor. I wonder if I should save, because it might give me the option to open the door or leave it shut. How did I know? Oh my god, that dog is so cute. Alright, we're letting it in first. My heightened senses told me that whoever was outside wasn't an enemy. Vocal barked even louder. Oh, shut it! I clenched my jaw until it hurt, ready to hack at the rotting maws. Then spun the lock. Polina! Gentlemen, you let Polina in. Oh my gosh, we got an achievement for that. Polina's alive! Polina flew into the hallway and hugged me with her shivering hands. I exhaled in surprise. I smelled the scent of her hair. I remembered how Polina played the violin for me right before sudden breakdown. I felt like one of the shaman's melodies floated into the house alongside her. Wet eyelashes grazed my cheek. Polina was crying.
Что случилось? Откуда ты здесь?
Did something happen? What are you doing here?
Я не знала, к кому еще пойти.
I didn't have anywhere else to go.
И дедушка,
And Grandpa, he's dead.
Что? Ты
What?
уверена?
Are you sure?
я не знаю.
I don't know.
Я
I've
никогда
never
не
seen
видела, как
people
умирают
die.
люди. Мне так
But that's what I thought.
показалось.
Так может,
Then maybe
Я испугалась.
I got scared.
Он не реагировал.
He didn't respond,
Просто
just
сидел
sat in
в
his chair in the dark.
кресле и глаза,
In his eyes, they glazed over like
Остекление.
Christmas tree balls.
как новогодние шары. После твоего ухода он сильно расстроился. Пил
He was
капли.
very upset after you left that time. He drank his drops.
Я переживала, что у
I
него
was afraid his
сердце
heart would
выйдет.
fail.
И вот,
And then I imagine a dead old man in a wheelchair, his iron teeth behind his bloodless lips. Then I noticed Polina's lips spread in a blissful smile. She shuddered as if awakening from a daydream, and the smile was gone. Nerves. The poor girl had lost her only relative, and it's probably my
ты звонила
fault.
в скорую?
Did you call for an ambulance?
да, линия молчит.
Yes, but the line is silent.
По дороге сюда я...
I saw posts fallen over on my way here.
Мне было так страшно в лесу,
I was so
Тош.
scared there in the forest, Tosha. She buried her nose in my vest and sobbed. Zolka is not liking it. Okay, she must be possessed. Zolka growled from around the corner. I stopped my foot and the dog waddled behind the staircase, yapping.
Ты моя последняя надежда.
You're my last hope.
Вчера я вела
I
себя
acted
как
like a
дура.
total idiot yesterday.
Так испугалась, что ты больше не
I'm
захочешь.
so confused. Did she not just teach us guitar? She still taught us guitar. The only difference was I didn't take my medicine. All of that stuff just happened. And she said her grandpa was at the hospital. I am so confused. Then she said that after we left, he died that night. Does that mean he never went to the hospital and she lied to us and he was in the house the whole time? I'm lost. I was so scared that she wouldn't want to. At that moment, her teary eyes fixated on the axe. On the barred windows and my sister sleeping on the floor in the middle of the hallway. Polina trailed off and never finished her line.
Что происходит?
What's going on? I leaned against the railing. I wanted to share the things that weighed on me, pushed me to the ground so badly.
Оля заболела.
Alia got sick.
Папа за врачом поехал, а
Dad went to
мама
the
в
doctor and
аптеку.
Mom went to buy medicine.
Давно, часов 6 назад.
A long time ago. 6 hours already.
6 часов? А ты звонил в милицию?
6 hours? Did you call the police?
Ага.
Yeah.
Сказали, что мама с папой скоро приедут. Сказали, дороги замело.
They said Mom and Dad will return, that the roads are just snowed in.
Я ждал,
I
потом
waited
задремал
and
на
waited,
ступеньках, и
then
ночь
fell asleep on the
наступила.
stairs and the night came.
А тут ты.
And then you came. Something screeched outside. Probably a lamppost that fell under the blizzard's
Мне
pressure.
кажется, мы в опасности.
I think we're in danger.
Кто-то ходит снаружи,
Someone's snooping about outside,
ищет, как бы попасть в дом.
looking for a way in. Polina covered her mouth with her hand.
Маньяк?
Is that the serial killer?
Может быть.
Probably. The lights went out. The fridge rattled as it shut down. Darkness splashed from all the nooks and crannies, devouring Polina. The blizzard's moans intensified. I blinked like crazy, clutching the handrails.
Антон, слышишь?
Anton, can you hear that? Fear splashed in her eyes.
Звук флейты.
The flute. Somebody started pounding on the door. I backed into the wall from surprise. A hail of strikes was unleashed on the door, bending it like thin sheet of plywood, as if dozens of fists and legs were simultaneously punching and kicking the wood.
Это они!
It's them! Polina, pale in the face, clutched my elbow. She was shivering. Them? No! What if they think the meat we brought for them is Polina or Zolka? No, Polina has more meat. They might think we brought them Polina. The door danced in the doorway. Dust flew from the plat bands. Polina shrieked hysterically, her face buried in her palms. The rumbling noise stopped as suddenly as it started. The black crucifix flew off the nail and crashed into the floor at my feet. A chain of anxious memories rushed through my mind. His grandma. Ringing bells from the small abandoned church at the end of the village. The dusty icons on the far shelves of my parents' bedroom. My grandma's wording chants. I wanted to believe that the cross could protect us from the horror of the things that came from the frosty forest. That in the world where the carnivorous monsters roam the night, there is a place for sacred words that grant salvation from sharp claws and fangs. I was about to grab the ancient relic when something pricked me under my shirt. Oh, that's right, the amulet that Polina gave him. Grimtag and magic resisted the divine force that my grandma and dad believed in so much. I froze in hesitation, ruminating on whose protection to ask for. Can any of those trinkets really save our lives? Oh my gosh, this is gonna be an option too. I'm gonna have to save this part too. The house was deathly silent. It felt like the man-eating monsters hid behind the door smirking, waiting for me to make my choice. Okay, well, this has saved us for the most part. So we're gonna take this. Pagan, you took the amulet. Oh my god, it was Pagan. Okay, that was not a good choice. That was not a good, oh my gosh. I kicked the cross in the far corner of the room and covered the amulet under my clothes with my palm. The dwellers of the ancient Tega can only be beaten by their religion as ancient, devoid of justice and mercy. I rushed to the kitchen as I pushed my friend to the side. I heard a heart-threading squeaking sound as if someone was driving their claws on the wall. Then the flapping wings. The night churned like a giant stomach. And then they hatched from the shadows, nasty mugs in the gaps between the boards. They pressed against the windows, leaving pus and squashed maggots on the glass. Crooked fingers scraped against the glass. Bared fangs scratched away the rind. Lines of teeth bared themselves in the gaps, taunting me. Eyes shone from left and right. Dead beasts stared at us from the outside and smirked.
Open up, buddy. We're hungry. We want to devour. We want to smell your fear. Dance with us, bunny boy. Dance, blood, long-haired fool. Let us rest in your hot guts, in your hot blood. Satiate our hunger. Our hunger. Polina wailed, plugging her ears with her hands. Make them go away. Make them shut up. Their eyes shone like stars in the pitch black skies. Glass popped in the kitchen. The evading wind played with our hair. It brought a flute. It brought a flute melody, quick and slippery, like a poisonous viper. The monsters thrust their paws into the gaps between the planks, clicked with their claws, demanding their treats. A huge deformed hand held out a bunny mask full of burrows from worms. No one in particular. Satiate our hunger. Let us drink the sacrificial blood. Carve us a slice. Bunny, show yourself. Be brave. Give the bees fresh meats they crave.
I plugged my ears with my fingers. The nasty voices subsided, only to be replaced by another sneering voice.
Ты должен, ты обязан кормить.
Anton, you must feed them.
Или сам стать
Or become the
мясом.
meat yourself.
Твоя очередь.
It's your turn.
Посмотри
Look
на
at
меня.
me. I shifted my gaze to the axe. Oh my gosh. The blade reflected my twisted face. I couldn't recognize myself.
Вот так.
Yes, just like that. The voice pleaded sweetly.
Выбирай тщательнее. Не дай себя убить.
Choose carefully. Don't get killed. Right in front of me, illuminated by the moonlight on blade, sharp claws, was a silvery bunny mask.
Наше настоящее
Our
лицо.
true face.
Оно поможет
It would help us
отомстить
get
нам всем,
revenge on
кто
those who
бил,
hit and
и
bullied
лишь
us.
поможет стать настоящим
It will help
собой.
us to become who we truly are. Polina stood with her back turned to me, covering herself in an animalistic horror, and my little sister snored innocently as she slept on the
Никто
floor.
меня не видит.
Nobody can see me. That means it's time to choose.
Выбрать
Sacrifice.
жертву.
Alia or Polina? Okay, well, I would never choose my sister. Sorry, Polina.
Уходи!
Family comes first. Polina, go. Wait, Polina, go.
Куда?
Wait a minute. Where?
На второй этаж.
To the second floor.
Запрись в спальне.
Lock yourself in the bedroom.
Что?
What are you gonna do? I'm going to feed you to them. Because the voice in the back of my mind chirped
Это
happily.
будет верное решение.
Okay, we did sacrifice Polina. I was rethinking everything. it would be the right choice.
Юное мясо самое сладкое.
Youthful meat is the best meat.
Иди!
Just go!
Спустишься через 10 минут после того, как шум утихнет.
You'll go back down 10 minutes after everything calms down. Polina gave me a cautious look, but still complied. The beast went silent, but their claws still scraped at the boards ever so slightly.
Она ничего не почувствует.
The voice in my head replied, "Hurry up, she won't feel a thing." I took a step toward Polina. The axe, hidden in the shadows, froze in the air over my victim. I remembered her playing the violin, enveloped in divine melody, inspired and magical. How her bow floated on the strings. I can't. No! My muscles turned to stone. Something foreign wreathed in my skull, incinerating my memories. In place of Polina sliding her bow on her violin, she hacked at her upper arm now, sawing it in two, tearing her skin, making the yellow subcutaneous fat underneath it shine. Saliva dripped down my chin. She won't feel pain. There is no other way. That's just how it works. It's your turn to feed.
Антош?
Antosha? The last moment, Polina turned around, making me shudder. What the hell am I doing? But it was too late. The axe descended. Taste of separation, you killed your beloved. I'm not surprised that this was not a rare one. I feel like the rare one would be choosing Olya. No one would choose Olya. The blade split open her skull, eating into the bone between her ear, and popped out eye without a crunching sound. Polina's face warped, as if she were a fidgety toy. A fragment of her temple buckled in, squeezing out her eyeball. Okay, I don't think that I am going to go back to the door part, because I'm thinking if I didn't let Polina in, we would have to choose to sacrifice Zolka or Olya. And I'm sorry, but I would also choose Polina over a dog and over Olya. I'm gonna be really honest about that. Her nasal cartilage shifted from the force of my strike. With just one swing, I destroyed Polina's beauty. I desecrated her music. Her beautiful melody turned into the smashing sound of an axe inside human brains. Olya twitched in her sleep and asked, "Why is everything red?" A loud thud, and at the same time, the lights turned on in the house. The door flew off its hinges, spewing sawdust. Its sleeve slid across the hallway like a sled. They're here! They broke in to devour Polina's flesh. I turned around to face the monstrosities of the ancient forest and then yelled at the figurines that appeared in the doorway. Here's your feast, monsters! Don't touch me!
Дети, все живы?
Oh no! You okay, kids?
Антон, мы до вас еле добрались. Твои родители...
Anton, we were barely able to get here. Your parents, they... The lieutenant stuttered. The middle-aged officer who stood behind him suppressed a shriek.
О, Боже.
God almighty. I looked into the window. The mask disappeared. Police lights flared up in their place. Tikhonov's stupefied stare shifted between the axe and the strands of hair stuck to its blade. Our kitchen looked like a slaughterhouse. Tikhonov moaned.
Что ты натворил?
What have you done? I dropped the axe and slid my hand across my face, smearing Polina's blood all over it.
Все не так.
That's not what
Это все звери.
It's all the beast's fault.
Они сказали, что мой черед кормить.
They told me it was my turn to feed them. Snow drifted outside, forming the silhouettes of horrific giants. I didn't resist as they took me away. I vaguely remember how the handcuffs wouldn't stay on my wrist since my hands were too small. The cold bracelets kept slipping off. Why go through the hassle anyway? Not like I would have tried to escape into the thickets, into the paws of those cannibals. They stuffed me into the backseat of a police car. I threw one last glance at my house. The blizzard embraced it with giant wings of a polar owl.
Где мои родители?
Where are my parents?
Об этом мы и пришли тебе сообщить.
That's what we came to tell you.
Уран.
The snowstorm.
Они погибли в
They
автокатастрофе.
died in a car crash. Olya's by herself now? He turned around and gave me a heavy
Им
look.
повезло. Они не узнают, что ты натворил.
They got lucky. They won't find out what you did. Snowflakes floated outside the barred windows of a police UAZ. The lights on top of it floundered in the darkness.
Inside the police station, a desktop lamp blinded me, making me squint. Tikhonov measured the room with long strides. His shadow kept on invading the map of Russia, only to then leave its expanses that I will never explore.
Такс.
Okay.
Кто, говоришь, заглядывал вам в окна?
So who was looking into your windows again?
Звери.
The beast.
Алиса, совушка, медвежутка, волчик.
Alyssa, Hootie, Teddy, Wolfie.
Они были голодными, понимаете?
They were hungry, okay?
Зайчик сказал, что я
And
должен
then
был
Bunny
их
told me that I
накормить.
need to feed them. Tikhonov slammed his fists against the
Какой
desk.
еще волчик, зайчик, блядь!
What Wolfie? What Bunny? What the fuck are you talking about?
Зоопарк на выезде, что ли?
Was that a traveling zoo or something? I slouched in fear.
На меня смотри, щенок.
Look at me, mongrel.
Слыхал, что
Have you
делает с
ever heard
организмом
what haloperidol can do to you? I shook my head.
Им колют психов.
That's what they inject the loonies with.
Мышцы
To twist
скрючиваются.
your muscles. A hellish
Адская,
torture.
хочешь попробовать?
Want to try it?
Нет,
No. Why? Don't they understand? Can't they feel what lurks in the forest? Dark Taiga looked at me from the map, right above the officer's head. A place far away from civilization where owls hoot and the icy fingers of living corpses scrape the frosty ground.
вы нашли следы.
Did you find the footprints?
Они топтали в поле, во дворе.
They walked all over the field and the front yard.
Они. Снова они.
Them. Them again! The lieutenant rolled his eyes.
Снегопад уже занес
The
твою
snowstorm had
халупу
already
по самую
covered your
крышу.
shack of a house up to its roof.
Ее саму хрен
We won't be able to
разыщешь.
find
А
it,
ты
let
их
alone any
следы.
footprints. I wanted to hug Polina so badly that I scooped up empty air and pressed that emptiness into my chest. Tikhonov exchanged meaningful glances with his colleague. The lieutenant's voice softened, but I felt there was
Ты
something
знаешь,
else.
что это?
Do you know what this is? He placed a small plastic container with pills in front of me.
Витамины.
А
Vitamins?
что такое шизофрения?
Do you
Знаешь?
know what schizophrenia is?
Психическое расстройство.
A mental illness.
Именно, сынок. Это болезнь.
That's right, son. It's an illness.
Ее сопровождают нарушения
It's
мышления.
accompanied with cognitive
неумение
dysfunction, issues with
управлять
emotion
эмоциями.
management, delusions. I had no idea where he was going. What relevance did it have to me?
Есть лекарства, подавляющие болезнь.
There is medication that can help suppress the illness,
Но они не
but they
всегда
don't always
срабатывают.
work. That's the real medicine that his mom had been giving him. I thought that I should probably stop hugging empty air as well as compulsively licking my lips, but that urge was stronger to me, was stronger than
Я
me.
видел черный гараж.
I saw the black garage. Tikhonov clicked with a lighter, ignited a cigarette. I started coughing, which only made me smirk,
Черный гараж — это байка.
which only made him smirk. Black Garage is an urban legend.
Я вот газету «Криминал» почитывал. Там
I've been
часто
reading
про
this newspaper,
забугорных маньяков.
Criminal News. They often write about serial killers from overseas.
Правда заключается в
The
том,
reality
что
is that
лет
20 or
20
so years
назад
ago, an American called
американец
Herbert
Герберт Малин
Mullen
убил
killed a dozen
дюжину
people to
человек,
prevent
чтобы
an earthquake.
предотвратить. Другой его земляк,
Another of his
Ричард Чейз,
compatriots, Richard
пил
Chase, drank human
человеческую
blood
кровь,
because he thought that would save
потому
him
что
from the
считал,
poison
что это
that
спасет его от
clandestine
яда,
Nazi
который
organizations
якобы
injected him
кололи
with.
ему тайно.
Я не знаком с этими людьми.
I don't know those people. Tikhonov's tone of voice was ingratiating, full of fake sympathy.
О, конечно.
Oh, of course you don't.
Но ты знаком с
But you
мальчиком,
do know a boy, a
несчастным,
sad,
глубоко
desperately ill
больным
boy whose parents were on
мальчиком,
the
чьи
brink of
родители
divorce,
были
and
на
the
грани
stress only
развода,
worsened
и
his
стресс
condition.
усугубил болезнь. Он придумал говорящих зверей, подружился с
He
ними.
made up a bunch of talking animals, then befriended them. Tikhonov took a long puff and let out a cloud of smoke.
Нет.
No. My thoughts got tangled. My vision blurred. I jumped over the forest with Alisa. I was in Grandpa Frost's palace.
После исчезновения Семена мы обратили на тебя внимание.
After Simon went missing, you became a person of interest.
Такой странный,
A
замкнутый
weird introverted
мальчик.
boy like that.
Но нам не
We
хватало
didn't have enough
улик.
evidence.
Даже когда исчезла Катя.
Even when Katya disappeared.
Врешь!
Lies! I pounced at the nasty, disgusting police officer, but his partner quickly returned me to my seat. I was suffocating from frustration. We ate the finger? There was an unbearable taste in my mouth, similar to how a raw finger would taste. Wait, why do I know what human flesh tastes like? I clutched my temples. It felt like my brain was getting boiled under the lid of my skull.
Мальчик устранял своих врагов.
That boy eliminated his
Но
enemies.
зверям в его голове
But the beast in his
потребовалось
head
больше.
demanded more.
Они заставили его...
They forced him to.
Замолчите!
Shut up! Tikhonov snubbed out a cigarette in the
Зарубить
ashtray.
свою подружку.
Chop up his girlfriend. I whined from horror, pulling on my lower lip with my fingers, stretching my cheeks.
Семена ты нагнал в чаще после вашей
You
стычки.
caught up to Simon in the thicket after a confrontation.
Катю увел под предлогом поделиться каким-то секретом.
You also lured Katya away under the pretense of telling her a secret.
Вову случайно встретил на
You met Vova
прогулке в
randomly while
лесу.
wandering through the forest.
Возможно, ты хотел
Maybe
поиграть
you
с
wanted
его
to play with his toy
автоматом,
gun and
а
he
он не
didn't give it
давал.
to you.
Перестаньте!
Stop it!
Сложнее с Сенечкой.
Sinchika is a tougher case.
Она пропала
She
до
disappeared
твоего
before your
переезда
arrival, so
сюда.
that left
И
us
это
stuck
долго
for a long
сбивало
time.
нас с
But
толку.
now I remember.
Твоя бабка похоронена
Your gran
здесь,
is
не так
buried
ли?
here, right?
Это все не взаправду! Это все сон!
This is not real. It's just a dream. Tikhonov moved up so close his face almost pressed into mine. I sensed the smell of lotion and tobacco. He whispered, studying me point blank with a merciless
Ты
stare.
приезжал в поселок в декабре
You came into the village in December
проведать бабушку на кладбище.
to visit your grandma at the cemetery.
Там ты и приметил Сеню.
That's when you saw Sinia. Torn clothes along the cemetery path. I bawled. Tikhonov leaned away, lit another cigarette and spoke.
Ад — это наши воспоминания.
Hell is our memories.
Я не придумал бы тебе наказание хуже, чем просто
I
помнить,
can't think of a
что ты
worse punishment for
совершил.
you than remembering everything you did.
Увести.
Take him away.
Они обманули меня! Это все они!
They deceived me. It's all their fault.
Пожалуйста, поверьте!
Please believe me.
Лейтенант!
Officer! Okay, that ending was 10 times better. 10 times better, but Alia is by herself now. So if he takes his medicine, everything is okay. Because the problem he has schizophrenia. But wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm so confused. But if he didn't, but even if he did take his medicine, wouldn't he have still killed everybody else? That little girl? Because Tikhonov just said that he killed everybody. But the beginning still doesn't make sense because we saved Katya. So none of that happened. We were delusional. We didn't actually save her? I am so lost. I don't understand what happened. The hospital room was so bright and spacious and completely white. Winter never ended here. The food is good, but most of it is liquid many of my neighbors. That sentence, wait, I don't think that sentence makes sense. But most of it is liquid many of my neighbors, who medical workers escort into the canteen, don't have enough teeth to chew solid food. Some of them are fed through straws. Those I usually meet in the corridor. Dirty and disheveled, they nap on the benches or scratch at the walls with their nails. Those who don't behave end up in the soft room or even worse, in the basement. After that, they become completely silent, empty like dolls. I always behave, though. I don't get beaten with rubber batons like the guilty ones. But the people who share the room with me can be monstrously mean. Not all of them actually suffer from I started to forget some words, but yes, some people are here just to hide from the draft. Those fakers bully me for no reason, just like my former classmates. They might put out their cigarettes on the bare parts of my body, or make me wash their clothes, laughing all the while. One day, a certain village moron snuck up on me while I was sleeping and almost raped me. Oh. From that moment on, I barely ever sleep. I keep thinking about what the policeman said to me. He's so silly. The mass actually existed, as did the garage, and the dances in the forest and everything else. If that's not the case, why would I kill the girl that sounded like a refreshing spring? Isn't that plain madness? Somebody screamed in the corridor, but I don't care. I wait for the coming of spring. I look into the only barred window in the room, afraid that the warm season will never come. Far, far away, somebody starts playing a flute, and then I see them. They're still there. Call of the psych ward. The orderlies got you. That was the ending we got. Mad world. Tega Wolf is not your friend. The winter so far has been especially harsh, and the beasts in the forest have been going crazy. The village was still shaken by the massacre perpetrated by a mentally ill schoolboy when a new disaster struck, Tega wolves are now terrorizing the locals. Just last week, they snatched 2 kids right from the edge of the village. There were no witnesses, just traces of blood and wolf prints leading into the thicket. The locals say that the wild beasts have changed somehow. They fear neither fire nor bullets. Some say the wolves become smarter. They move in packs, lure you in acting like dogs, and at night, instead of their usual howls, people hear cackling. The hunters warn, don't go into the forest without a serious reason, and keep your kids at home. Entering the dark forest right now is the same as walking into the maw of a beast. The end. Wow. I have no words. I have no words. Okay, so Anton didn't do it because they're still happening. Like, people are still getting killed even though he's in a psychiatric hospital. That's what I'm gathering. But I am still so confused because that means that we really did save Katya in the garage at the beginning. So did he forget about that? Like, was some of the story forgotten? But also, Polina died, and then Polina knocked on the door. And then we killed her with the axe. But I thought she already died. We were at her house. I'm confused. I'm so lost. She didn't die. Alya also she started to wake up whenever Zolka came, but then she was in a trance again on the floor. I don't know. I feel like some of the pieces are not making sense to me, but it could just be a me thing. I don't know. I'm not able to piece together what's happening. Obviously, the ending where we took the medicine was the best ending, but in my opinion, it was also the most boring ending. I think this one was a little bit better because we actually got visited by Alisa and her friends. I'm glad that we didn't kill Zolka. I will play again, but go on a date. I don't know if it would be a date, but choose Katya, maybe. The reason I say maybe is I still have to do the ending of the first playthrough I did. The first playthrough I did, I chose the loner route, where when Simon hit me, I chose to take it instead of hit him back. So I still need to do that ending. So maybe I'll see if it gives us the option to go with Katya in the loner route. And if it doesn't, then I will record episode 5 again. But I will go ahead and start from whenever it lets us choose Katya to walk home with instead of Polina. But let me know in the comments what you guys think. I'm still confused. Was there something in this ending that I missed? This ending, please. I'm not asking for spoilers because I'm not done with the game yet. I'm still going to try for 2 more endings, I think. The loner one, and then Katya's might give another ending. Because I'm thinking that when I do Katya's, I'm thinking we will be innocent because we'll have another piece of evidence. We'll have Simon's ring, we'll have Vova's mitten, and then we'll have something from Katya's house. So I do think that going back there is going to give us a new ending. So that's 2 more endings that I think I'll be able to get when I go back. So I'm not asking for spoilers, but on the endings I got tonight, is there something that I missed and something I didn't quite understand? Also, let me know what y'all thought. Like, what were your thoughts on this episode? Because what the heck? Like, all I'm thinking about is what happened? What happened? And I was right. I will say I was right. I was like, it's too happy. Like, nothing's happening. There's no way that there's going to just be an ending like this. And I was right because, bam, all of a sudden the monsters just came out of nowhere. It was great. It was fantastic. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope I see you for my next video.